Hey, it's me, the editor. There are a couple audio issues this episode. There's some audio that isn't supposed to be captured, and there's some weird audio fluctuations. I don't get paid enough to deal with those kind of problems, but if you don't like it, go to the next episode. See you next episode, I guess. Bye.
We do not condone the abuse of drugs, addiction, or the illegal use of drugs. Please zoot responsibly. Welcome to Zoot Talk, the show where a bunch of stoners sit around, get zooted, and talk. I'm Alex.
I'm Troy.
I'm Mark.
I'm Apple.
And welcome to the episode. It's Apple's first time on the show. Welcome. But today we're going to talk about an event that occurred.
End of 2021.
It was 2 years ago. But yeah, happened 2 years ago that we were all a part of. That was the road trip we took from Florida to California to get my car over there.
Where nothing went wrong.
Nothing. It went so smoothly. This is going to be the shortest episode ever. We just kind of, I don't know. I needed to move my car was the thing.
Yeah, because you were moving over to California.
That was the objective.
Yes.
And so you wanted to get your car there.
Right. And I could have gotten it shipped. But
boy,
I was like,
that.
that's so boring.
I want to go on a trip with the boys.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
It sounds like a great idea.
Right. And it was great. We had such a good route.
Yeah.
We spent so long just planning the route because we weren't just driving from point A to point B. We were driving from like point A to point B, but like all the like, you know.
We were gonna hit all
big
of the
burrito lady.
Oh no.
We'll get to that.
We were planning for like a few nights. Like it was few hour long Discord calls, just like plotting out whatever would be like within a 40-minute round trip or like 50-minute round trip of the main path.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, we just had like this like big circle around each stop of the trip.
Zigzag across.
Yeah. So we stopped at like all these places that were like cool places to stop at along that route. So it wasn't just like boring road trip, you know. We were gonna do cool stuff and see things.
Yeah. Well, what was like the total days that it took?
Oh man,
Get there 5. How long did we spend bumming around in California? 2.
it was like 2. So it's probably like the whole thing spanned like a week.
Yeah.
Which is normal. Like that trip is normally like if you were just driving the whole time, I think it's only a few days.
3 or 4, I'd reckon.
Yeah. So I guess the best way to just recount what happened is just to go chronologically from the very beginning all the way to the end. So that morning, it was like
It was a
5
cool,
or
crisp
6.
morning, nice and misty. It's like 5, yeah, like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Still
it was in
dark out.
December too.
Yep.
It was in December, so it was cold-ish. It was Florida, so it wasn't that cold, but it was
60.
cold.
And it was in the 60s.
Yeah.
We're freezing.
Yeah, it was really cold.
It was actually really cold. But I remember waking up really early because it was my car, so I had to be the first one to drive it.
Mm-hmm.
Going to each person's house to pick them up. I go to Troy first.
Yeah, you got me first.
Yeah, Troy first, right? So I went from Troy to Apple, and then Mark.
And then we went to another person's house after me. Because Apple forgot to.
Oh, that's what I thought. That's why I thought that
Yeah,
we went to
was
Apple's
it?
last. Yeah.
To Megan's, but
We went to Megan's, yeah.
I forgot.
'Cause
I honestly can't remember what I forgot there. Like, I'm trying to think about it right now. Oh, you know what it was?
What?
It was the pot.
Oh my god.
No way.
Thinking back, I think it was the pot.
That set us back a little bit for
At
our
least
for our
like
trip
20
start.
minutes. It wasn't a short trip over there.
Yeah, it was probably another 20 to 30
And we were-
minutes.
5 minutes.
I mean, we were kind of on a time crunch with how much stuff we wanted to get done, like and do
Yeah.
on the
That's
trip.
true.
So we were trying to be very like.
But I mean, that's important though. We have to go back for that every time. Like we can't just leave that. Um, so we're driving, and we get everyone, and as we're leaving, we're like, "Oh my god, it's really foggy." It's so weird. Like, I just distinctly remember it just being super foggy as we drove out of Orlando.
It was scary.
Yeah, it looked like Silent Hill. Yeah,
It was
When
like
we were
that, like
outside
all
of-
the way out of Florida, pretty much, like till we got to Georgia.
It was definitely a bad omen or something. Like, you know, like
that's foreshadowing.
yeah,
Question mark?
really though.
So we drove out of Florida. I don't think did we stop anywhere?
no, we
Probably
didn't.
not.
We went straight to New Orleans. That was the first stop.
First stop.
Yeah, straight to
Let's get into New Orleans.
There's nothing in Florida or Georgia we really wanted to see.
I guess we just kind of ranked New Orleans like higher up in our priority list than other things, I think.
We want to get there ASAP, not be like too tired to do anything else. We want to see Bourbon Street and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Have a
So
good
yeah, we just
time.
booked it. We booked it straight to New Orleans.
So first thing we do, we just roll on through, and then we get to the parking garage there, park up our car, and the system was weird. It was like, yeah, take a picture of the car and then upload it to like a app
yeah.
or text message thing. It wasn't just like a ticket thing. It was something like needlessly complicated. You had to, like send a picture, and then you don't have the signal to send them the picture from where you're at. So you have to
In the
just
parking
walk
garage.
outside to do it. And we think we do it, and then we just go inside. And Mark, he had his what was it? If you want to tell him.
Yeah, I think I was just a little anxious about the trip, so when they picked me up after we had to go back for the pot, I had to step out of the car and just puke in the front lawn real quick. And then
Yeah.
kind of was half conscious until we got about to the Florida Georgia line.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
We
he
had a
didn't
rap
even like.
battle
okay.
after that, Mark. You weren't too bad. You're doing the little card game thing.
Yeah, like I don't
Orchard
think
game.
there was nothing wrong with me. I was just I was nervous.
Yeah.
I woke
Mark's
up.
trip started out pretty bad.
Yeah, 'cause
Pretty
he was,
bad,
He was
yeah.
even sick when we got to New Orleans, and he was kind of just staying
Yeah.
in the room.
You boys went ahead on to Bourbon Street. I stayed back in the hotel with the toilet.
First
Had a
thing you want
nice
to do is
date.
get some
Get some good old food.
Yeah, what was it?
Yeah.
Is it called the fiery crab?
Fiery crab, yeah.
I want to go back.
So good. There was like a seafood boil, like the Cajun seafood
The
boil.
ones where they put it all in the same bag, nice spicy
Yeah.
sauce. They had like bits of potato and
They
corn. in
they
it.
give you the bibs
Yeah.
to eat because
And they just dump all the food onto the onto the table.
Yeah, it's like all
Yeah.
covered in butcher paper.
Yeah.
I ate
Wax
so
paper or
much that
something.
day.
Yeah, me too.
That was so
dude.
good. I want to go back.
This is everything I missed out on.
Yeah, well,
I
meanwhile,
missed out on the bagged food.
What was Mark doing?
On the toilet.
I was between laying in the bed and sitting on the floor of the bathroom.
Oh my
you know.
god.
I think I watched some YouTube pretty much. Try to
God
pass
damn,
the
I'm so
time.
sorry.
It's
I didn't
it's
know it was
okay.
that bad.
No, yeah, I was just between. I threw up maybe, I think only like 3 or 4 times.
Only.
Wow.
But it ended
Jeez.
after. That was the last day of that. That was the last day of
Man.
that. I
That's
was
good.
fine the next morning. Didn't come back.
Okay. Yeah,
don't know
because
what
it
it
like
was.
you could easily just like do like a jump.
If it was the whole
between
trip, it would have
us.
been miserable. I would have had to fly home from like Texas or something. I don't know.
Yeah. New Orleans went to Bourbon Street, which is super fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't really popping though because it was
That is
cold.
true though. It was like
it was
not
cold.
the season to go to Bourbon Street.
No,
it
it
was
wasn't.
Yeah.
There were very many
it
people.
was pretty dead.
Oh yeah, didn't you Apple get like free shot or something from some guy?
I got a Jello cup, and the guy gave me an extra big one, extra liquor, since I told him I was from out of
A
state.
nice guy.
But,
Oh, cool.
I mean, yeah, I was like the only one in the shop too. I was just like, I want a Jello shot. He's just like, I got you. He's like, get the red one, get that one, top one. That's the one.
That's so cool.
No, yeah, that was good. And what was it the part I remember the most were the jazz clubs, just like walking
Oh,
by
yeah.
them even. It was cool hearing them. I wish we got to go inside more. But we were just kind of like wandering around trying to see all of it.
Yeah, it was cool to see, and
Yeah,
just like
no,
walking
just
around the
experience.
city too.
And that camera, the Troy's parents back home, there's
yeah,
like a live
there was
stream
a-
camera in Bourbon Street that goes
Oh.
24/7.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
My
And,
parents were able to see me
Yeah, we have a picture
on,
of
out
it.
on Bourbon Street.
Yeah, we were waving at the
So
camera
cool.
and they pulled it up.
That's so cool.
That was a really fun night actually. I'm glad we did. I'm glad that was one of the stops.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Then we came back. How was our hotel room? Was it like small? I remember it
It was-
being kind of small.
It was kind of small.
It was
almost
small,
The
but-
videos earlier.
I liked that you would go you would open up there was a window and you would go to it. You open up the blinds and it's just a brick wall, like maybe like 5 feet
Oh,
away from it.
It was
yeah,
so
no, we
like
couldn't see shit. Yeah.
it was so like indicative of where we were staying.
Hey, it was better than camping out, you know.
Oh.
Apple wanted to camp the entire
That
way.
was the original plan.
Yeah.
was
Oh
the
yeah, it was
original
camp
plan.
the
was
entire.
to
I thought we'd
camp.
save a lot of money.
In the middle of December.
KOAs
we would have
and
died.
shit. You know.
We would have died.
if
No, I don't think
car-
we. I think we would have
died, but
been fine.
it would have been terrible.
It would have been alright.
We would've
Being
been
out in the cold.
smelly as
Most
hell.
of it was like in the south, so we wouldn't have died.
If we stayed at KOAs, we would have been. We would have had like hot water showers and stuff.
That's actually true. I do remember talking about that.
Yeah, it would have been that bad. It would have just been like we would have never slept in a bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do that. We'll do that next time.
I'm not saying we should do that.
So and then after that, we just went to bed, right?
Yeah, we
had to
got
get up
back. We had to get up pretty early.
pretty early. I think it was like 7 or 8 in the morning. I
We
think.
did get breakfast at the hotel though.
Oh yeah,
It was like
that
the-
part was
the
nice.
bag.
This free breakfast.
Yeah. So we got breakfast, and then we went up to the parking garage, and
Oh.
there's a fucking boot on my back tire.
Yep. Can't go, and we're already running a little late too
Yeah.
because of breakfast. We're like, all right, time to go. If we leave right now, we'll still make our time. And yeah, boom, boot, and we call them up, and we're like,
Yeah.
you tell them you're the one.
We should explain what a boot is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the thing that goes around the rim, and like stops the car from going.
Of the
Yeah, like, the car just cannot move once the boot is on. And so there's a number on it to call the people to come unlock the boot for you, and you have to pay them. So we called them. So I remember just calling them and being like, I mean, I just have to eat it, right? Like, there's nothing like for us to stay on schedule, like, and not like it be super late. Like I just had to eat it, you know, and pay the fee. Like, what am I gonna do and like try to fight it? Because I think like they said like they just didn't get our parking payment.
Right.
Just BS.
Which
Yeah.
they did. It was like I
It
think it
said
was
it
like
went
only like
through.
10 minutes after we had like left because we waited until we got to our place to pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Like
we
you
didn't want
mentioned
to do
earlier,
the
there's no
street to call our
signal.
luggage. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's kind of ridiculous, I think, honestly, for a place to do that you have to pay in the garage where there's no internet.
Yeah, it's so
If you
dumb.
leave, they put the
That's
boot
shitty.
on. But
Yeah.
I think we ended up getting it where that we told them about that situation, and they were like, "Oh, well, yeah, you do have a receipt of payment," and then we paid just like less. It was just like a small fee to get the boot off rather than
Yeah, I
like
think
the
that's all
full.
we had to end up paying.
Yeah, it wasn't actually that bad, but
It was
like
like
it was like a
30.
delay.
Yeah, we had to wait like 40 minutes for the guy to show up, get it off, get loaded
Yeah.
up, and go.
Then we were out in New Orleans.
And then
After
what was
that-
our next destination?
San
After
Antonio,
that, Yep, going through Texas,
Texas, and
going through-
what was it?
Troy's home turf.
I rate a state by its rest stops.
Yeah.
So Florida has good rest stops. Those are pretty nice.
Mhm.
Georgia, we were there briefly, didn't really see any rest stops. Louisiana, Nolan's, not enough time to see the rest stops. But everything from like New Orleans to like Texas area is just all swamp. There are 0 rest stops.
Yeah.
All the states down there, just 0 out of 10 in terms of rest stops. Because it's just like a 2-lane highway over the fucking swamp
Yeah,
for like
Yeah, it's
miles
like a
and
bridge.
miles. Yeah, it was just a bridge. And there's
a
a
nightmare.
breakdown when we were going across. Like, there was a fuck ton of traffic because it's like a 2-lane highway. It's already clogged up. Now it's all squeezed into one, and there's a tow truck trying to squeeze in. And all the cars trying to merge into one lane. It was just fucking.
yeah.
That was just annoying. We were
Nightmare.
stuck there for like however long, just more traffic to deal with. So we were running behind.
But eventually, we made it into Texas. We stopped at a Buc-ee's.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
Classic.
we had Whataburger first, and then yeah, we went to Buc-ee's.
Right, we had Whataburger
Yeah.
first.
Because there's no Whataburger in Florida.
Yeah, or in California.
Honestly, I don't know. I've had better experiences at Whataburgers, but that first time we went, it just wasn't it for
It
me.
was not great.
No, it
I
wasn't
didn't
good.
like it either.
It was like pretty.
I thought it was pretty good. I'm in the
it was
minority.
like it was okay.
I've had it again recently, and that's how I feel now. It's like it's okay, but that first time was just nah.
I didn't.
I'm from Texas, and I don't like fucking Whataburger.
So tell us about Buc-ee's, Troy. Your
Buc-ee's
your
was
pride.
great.
Your state's pride.
Yeah, no, Bucky's is amazing. It's so big and like
Bucky's is like a big it's a big gas station actually. It's
yeah.
with a convenience store to match. It's a huge like complex, or not a complex, but it's just a big building.
I would call it a
They
complex.
have a hunting section. They have a jerky section.
Yeah.
Sub shop.
They sell merch.
They sell their own merch. I remember going into the bathrooms. There's like huge rows and rows of toilets. So I go into the stall. I see a guy walk out, go sit down, and I'm like, man, Bucky's is incredible. They even have heated seats. And like I thought about it for a few seconds. I'm like, oh yeah, the guy just left the stall.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I was in such awe of Bucky's. I completely believed it. That was like the most plausible explanation to me for a moment.
There's no way.
They had you convinced. Dude. Your standards were so
God.
high.
There you go, and it's like the toilets at the Vatican. They were like just rows of like cleanliness and like beautiful white tiles. It was, it's like the gas pumps but toilets, just huge rows of them.
If there is anywhere, like any public bathroom that you can go to ever, it's Bucky's. Though, like always, right? It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they're so
always.
clean all the time.
I don't know how they do it. It's like the fucking dozens and dozens of workers they hire because I think it's fucking huge.
Yeah, they sell barbecue there. They sell fucking.
Yeah, they sell like grills.
Yeah, they have like eight different soda machines with different sodas. I'm like, this is excessive. You don't have to have all of these, but they have it because it's Texas.
Because it's Texas. Yeah.
Big Red. Hell yeah.
Did anyone buy anything else?
I regret not buying merch.
I don't think I bought any merch, and I'm kind of sad about
I bought a. Wait, did I buy something? I can't remember either. I don't think I did.
Yeah, I kind of wish I bought like a hat.
I
Yeah,
bought a
right.
I
That's how I
bought
feel.
a pulled pork sandwich.
I should have
That's
found
what I
my
bought.
beanie for this.
Mm.
So now we got to San Antonio.
Yeah, from
After
Bucky's
that,
we went to
yeah,
San Antonio. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to go see the Alamo first. Was that what we want to do?
Well, first we had to go to a hotel.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the first thing.
So we had another hotel that we went to that was just it was just like on the outskirts of San Antonio, I think. I remember us going into that hotel room, and I had bought this like edible donut thing that was like, it was hash, like rosin like a edible, which is like really strong. And I remember the guy who I got it from saying like, dude, this shit's like, this will fuck you up. And I remember we all ate, I think we all ate like a quarter or something.
Yeah.
I
I
think
don't
we all
remember.
split
Chunk of
it.
it, yeah.
Well, actually no, wait. Someone had to have
Somebody
not.
didn't. Yeah, I think it was Mark, because Mark was driving.
Mark was driving.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Yeah, so you didn't. We still had the quarter. Right, we did have the quarter. We left the quarter over.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah, you're
that.
right.
And then we were like, who's gonna have the last bit? And then at this was the start of us being high on the trip. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't think I was ever sober for the rest of the trip unless it was my turn to drive. Like I would just sober up before it was my turn, and then I would drive, and that was it. Then as soon as I was done driving, I would
Yeah,
drive
that's pretty
again.
much how we did rotation. It's just like, all right, who's sober enough right now? And then someone would raise their hand. And it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, just keep it this way. Just no one mess this up. We got a good rhythm going. Just keep it going to Cali.
Yeah, and that's just how we did it.
And I just remember being so high off of this like edible that
Donut.
I would see out there. Had like a window for this hotel that we were staying at. Our room had a window, and when I was looking at it, where I was standing in the room made it look like the road was like in line, like the cars were just like going across, and like it looked like we were in line with the road, and it made it look like we were like the hotel was moving like on the road, but not us. Like it was so weird, and I remember like almost falling over. The first time
I remember that too. I think I saw you like kind of stumble a bit, and that made me like feel it, and so I started like
Yeah, no,
almost falling over.
I remember Troy doing it, and I'm like, Troy, what the fuck are you talking about? He tried to explain it to me. I'm like, you're so fucking high, dude. I walk over to it, and the same fucking thing happened. Like, it's like the cars on the highway stopped, and then the building I was in started moving instead. And I was just like, was falling over. I'm like, no fucking way.
You talk shit to me. You were like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, what are you talking about, dude?
Like,
you're so
high,
high, bro.
dude. And I go,
He
just
goes over
same
and
fucking
starts
thing. I start dying. I'm like, no way. Same fucking
Dude,
thing
It's
happened to
awful.
me. It's an optical
leaving the
illusion.
sober one, I realized what's happening, and I stand in front of him, between them and the window, and I start like running, like whoa, like this, and into the bed, and it just makes him even fucking worse.
Did we go to Alma first?
We walked through the river walk. Well, that was before the Alamo. We might have walked part of the river walk to get to the Alamo.
Yeah, I
back
think that's
on the
what
river.
it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what we did. Part of the Riverwalk, Alamo, then
Yeah.
walked around
Never
more of the
forget.
Riverwalk. Almost forgot. Yeah, we got some nice
Yeah, we
pics.
almost did.
Nice pics in front of it. It was nice and lit up. Helped some English couple
Oh,
get a night
God.
photo that I think Mark ended up fucking up anyway.
yeah, I want to share this story with that. This older British guy comes up to me and wants me to take a picture with his wife in front of the Alamo. But they go and stand in front of it. I'm about to take it. And iPhone changed how you turn on the flash. And I think I finally figured out how to turn it on, but they were too far away, so it didn't matter. But I was too stupid as to think, like, hey, stand in front where this, like, light is on the ground. So they're way too far. The picture is dark, and he looks at it, he's a little disappointed. He's like, oh. I'm like, I can retake it. We can try to get better lighting. He's like, no, it's okay. Like, left.
Yeah.
And then when we had our picture taken, we stood in front of that little light.
You
Yeah,
got
like,
nice
see us?
pictures.
They got a good picture. Yeah. Why wouldn't he just? ask
Sorry,
for
dude, I
another one?
ruined
You
your picture at
offered.
the Alamo. Yeah. I would have helped to make it right, but
Well, his loss. But that was really cool, actually. The Riverwalk was so nice.
Oh yeah, it was really cool. It was like all the lights
was
done
all-
up in the trees. They had
Yeah.
like giant ass
Yeah.
artwork on the side of the walls.
it was a good time of year with the Christmas lights.
Yeah.
It was like empty when we went. It was like
It was dark too. It was winter, so like
It could
it
be
gets dark
earlier.
way earlier.
yeah.
But no, it was not busy. I was there
Yeah.
in the summer years ago, and it was a lot more crowded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So honestly, we took the trip at a pretty good time.
Yeah, pretty
Like-
much everything was closed around then, just because it was a weekday. I'm pretty sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Oh, but the Alamo was closed. We just saw.
Yeah, it
we
was-
just
it was
saw.
already
Yeah, we
the
just saw it
Alamo.
from the outside because
Yeah.
we got there after they closed at like dark, and like you said, it gets dark early.
Yeah. So we just saw the Alamo from the outside, but it was cool. It was cool to see.
Nothing
Changes soon.
happened on the way to the restaurant.
Yeah, our next mission was literally just
Nothing
driving.
happened.
Yeah, Mark, if you want to explain that.
Well,
Well,
I just wanted to make a simple right on red at a four-way intersection. You know, I'm looking this way, making sure there's no cars coming. It's kind of a foreign
Yeah.
city. Take the turn way too sharp, and I hit the back right tire on a gutter. It's like a corner, like the
Yeah.
corner of the curb is also like a gutter, so it dips.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's like the wheel gets lowered by the dip, and then it hits the lip of the gutter.
No,
and
you
it
forgot
just
the worst
ripped-
I
part.
thought there was rebar.
Yeah, I remember rebar.
Oh yeah, I think
sticking out the
I'm
side
pretty
of
sure.
it.
Yeah, the concrete is also. I
So
guess a
many
bunch of
people
hit it.
have hit it. Yeah,
It
that same exact
exposed.
spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ripped off the hubcap and punctured a hole in poor Alex's tire. So
So
we had to
yeah.
pull over and replace it with a.
Was
So
it
Mark
the
is
same-
sober now. The rest of us are still fucking high as hell.
Absolutely.
We had to try to
Yeah,
replace a
That
tire.
donut was
Probably like a
hitting like crazy.
So Mark pulls off into a parking lot, and we're all like, we should all get out of the car. We look at the tire, we can hear the air hissing out of it. I'm like, I don't know what to do. My active brain is not working. I just stand there like an idiot. I'm just like, I don't know. We were just like, okay, we have to put the spare on.
Yeah.
Good
right?
thing you had one, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I was
Gotta
ready.
carry a spare.
I was ready before this trip. I made sure to do everything I needed to.
Yeah, you got new tires.
I got new tires actually. Actually, yeah, right before.
Yeah, you got new tires. Yeah.
I got new tires. But we put the donut on the spare tire.
Yeah.
Um,
I had to kick it
Which
in.
means we now have to drive 60 as well.
yeah.
So we're already running late to the restaurant, and we have to drive slower on the freeway. I think we just did take the freeway. We just stayed in the right lane.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Which was awful. But no, it was fine. We were going to dinner, and we were going to this themed restaurant that Mark told us about called the Magic Time Machine.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm surprised.
Yeah,
Okay.
Magic Time Machine.
He wants to explain the gimmick.
Yeah,
Remember what the gimmick was of that place?
The gimmick of the Magic Time Machine was this like crazy like multiple themed restaurant where each booth that you could go and sit in was like a different theme, like a cowboy scene, which was our booth. They had like, I'm pretty sure didn't they have a SpongeBob?
Yeah, there was a little
Themed one.
pineapple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically all of the servers there, they are also in costumes as like specific characters, like Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And we got Raven from Teen Titans.
We are still not sober at this point. So going into this place was trippy as
Yeah,
hell.
that was really fun.
Yeah, it was so cool. And the food we got was so like, oh my god, it was.
We got like, it was called like the King's Meal or something like that. It was just like a whole thing
Yeah.
of meat and like fruits and
Fruits.
cheese, potatoes.
Wasn't it like something like a royal orgy or something like that? It was
That
no,
sounds
Roman,
right.
Roman orgy.
Roman orgy.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure it was the Roman orgy.
Huge. Yeah, it was.
So when that's on the menu, you have to order.
It's just meats and vegetables.
Yeah, but like it was
That's
enough
what
for
we
all
thought.
of us. We
Yeah.
ordered that one thing
More than
for
enough.
all four of us. Yeah, we had leftovers, right?
Yeah, we had a
For,
ton.
Yeah.
for the next couple days, yeah.
Yeah,
Was it?
there's
Oh,
a ton of fruit.
Troy forgot to
Meat.
mention that the waiters and waitresses there also just talk shit to you the whole time. Like playfully. They had an intercom system where when I went to go to the bathroom, she would like talk to me over the intercom. I forgot what she said. She's like that you guys said something about me. Or something like over the intercom while I'm using the urinal, and then she said I look like some character from Glee. And then
Oh my god, really?
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was
You don't remember that? Yeah, I remember her
I
talking to me over the
remember-
intercom while I'm taking a piss. And come out
Remember
like,
the
what the hell was that?
What the fuck?
Oh my god,
That was really funny.
that was actually a really good restaurant. Thank you for the recommendation, Mark.
Yeah.
Because that was
Good idea.
actually a highlight of the trip.
Oh yeah, we ordered
Mhm.
potions. I'm looking at it right now. Pictures of it was like a mana potion and stuff, and they
Mana
had like
potion, health potion.
The dry ice.
yeah, dry ice and the
Yeah,
sticking out.
Yeah, so, like,
Smoke
just,
at
like-
the top.
smoking drinks, so they look all bubbly.
Yeah,
It's pretty
cool
neat.
place. We were in the cowboy themed section.
Booth.
Yeah, cowboy booth with Raven serving us. It was great. Good time.
Did we do anything after that? I think we just went and walked around again.
Yeah, did we go back to the Riverwalk?
Yeah.
I think we did.
Or I thought so.
Which time did we forget where we parked and like had to like kind of backtrack off memory?
I think it
Was that the first time or the second time? So I remember we had to like go back to the car and it dawned on me, I'm like, where did we park? None of us like wrote an address or like pinned it on our
Yeah, I remember that.
phones.
That was
And then
scary.
We just kind of had to like walk. Okay, we walked down here, and then we.
Oh, yeah.
We were. There's the Rainforest Cafe. We're on the right track. It's like
All still
should we
high.
go down these stairs. Yeah, it's just me
Yeah.
sober, and I have a great memory. I have goldfish memory as is.
Mark is like mother duck to us. So we're just following him. We're like going, whoa, look at all the pretty lights.
Mark's just freaking out.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
pretty lights.
it was like that. I'm a little more panicked. Like, where's the freaking car? We're gonna just be stuck here trying to find this stupid guy. And they're all like, good.
But yeah, we went to the Riverwalk again, and then we went back to the hotel.
Yep.
And
Next day we got a
we-
new tire.
bed. Yeah, we woke up. I looked for the closest Costco because that's where I got my new tires at. Which I'm actually super glad I did because I don't know if like any other place would have let me do this. But when we went in, it was still under like warranty, so they just replaced them for free.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
They
Yeah,
replaced.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was.
We
Lucked
usually it felt like we were getting like really unlucky, but then we would get like a break. You know,
Yeah.
we would get like a lucky break for something.
Mhm.
The
We're
next,
so over, then we're so back.
yeah, we're so bad.
I'm
Yeah.
just thinking like, man, I'm gonna have to pay for this tire. Like it's the right thing to do with it. It ended up being free. I was like, oh, it's just free? I don't know. Sure, yeah. Cool. I mean, the
Like,
guilt
not
and
even
shame
labor.
is like enough.
They
No,
didn't
yeah,
even
I'll
charge
pay
me
for
for
it.
labor. Like they
was dope.
literally just did it for free.
They're looking at it like this guy. He registered all this in Florida. Now he's over here. Like, you gotta help this poor guy.
And I got them changed like 3 or 4 days ago. Like,
That's great. Thanks,
yeah.
Costco.
Thank you,
God for
Costco. Not
we were
sponsored,
no, we were sponsored though.
But yeah, then we were on our way. That was also like just a little bit of a delay. So we were like falling way behind schedule at that point.
we were way behind.
And
Costco's
at that
burrito
point,
lady.
we had to skip burrito lady.
We had mentioned earlier we would do calls just plotting our route, and on one of those nights we were just zooming around the map where we were. We found this small little random town called Eden, and in Eden there were like 3 landmarks: a Dairy Queen, the high school, and Burrito Lady. And Burrito Lady is like a pseudo food. It's like a permanent food truck. They also have like now a restaurant part, but it's just the food truck in this small little nowhere town in the middle of Texas. And our plan was, let's just go to this obscure place. We have to get the Burrito Lady. We watched like YouTube videos with like 200 views talking about Burrito Lady.
It looked good.
It looked pretty
Yeah, it
good.
looked
Yeah, it's
pretty
like
good.
family owned and operated. But my blunder cost us Burrito Lady. I'm the one who found it. It was like my we were even planning to go there on my birthday. We're gonna be in Texas on my birthday for Burrito
For
Lady.
Burrito Lady. That would have been so nice.
We fell way too far. We had to sacrifice it.
No burrito
Yeah.
lady.
I liked how the Eden, Texas, there was like this weird fact that we looked up on Wikipedia, and it was like they have more like inmates in like prison than they do actual people who live in the town.
Yeah, that was the other landmark. Was the prison.
I remember
It's a prison
some of
town.
it.
In the scope of where the other places we were going, unfortunately, Burrito Lady had to just didn't make the cut.
We had the
We got
Grand
you.
Canyon to look forward to.
Yeah, we had to skip over Eden, but so that meant we were going from
San Antonio.
San Antonio to
Phoenix. Yes.
Phoenix first.
Yeah, Phoenix.
So we were going to Phoenix, which
That's a
that's
long
a
drive.
long drive.
And like
Very long
You know,
drive.
it's
Two-thirds
all
of it
the
is Texas.
fucking same. It's all just
Yeah.
desert.
Driving in Texas, sorry, I'm so sorry, Texas, but you probably know driving in Texas long distances fucking sucks. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing to look at. It's flat. It's just fucking desert. Like, it's just
And then like hills.
Dry grass.
Sometimes you get some hills. That's the most
Okay,
interesting thing. But
yeah,
it's,
you just-
it's nothing.
it is just nothing for miles and miles. And Texas is a big state.
No, but then once you
Yeah.
start getting into like, do you go through New Mexico? No.
We did go to New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico, Arizona.
A little bit.
Yeah,
yeah.
that whole area it made me miss Texas because it was like the same shit but no hills. It was just all fucking dirt and like there were
was
legit
pretty bad.
tumbleweeds all over the fucking place. We almost
It was
hit a
pretty bad.
tumbleweed like there's one spot. Do you remember where it was just like tumbleweed after tumbleweed?
I was so
we were
scared.
the only car on that. We were the only car out there I saw for
I think
like
Apple
40
was driving,
fucking
right?
minutes. Yeah, it was just they just kept coming. I had to keep braking for them. It was just nothing out there but desert. And yeah, we were doing that into the night and same
Yeah.
shit at night too, trying to dodge tumbleweeds, going through like one light stop towns.
Yeah.
Those are fun. You have to like really make sure to slow down because the sheriffs, they like to nail you there because they have nothing better
Yeah.
to do. Because there's literally fucking nothing in those towns. There's like one gas station, and like
Yeah.
you see all the houses, and like that's all you see really.
Yeah, that's the whole town.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Like,
a
maybe
gas
like
station,
a general store.
a general store.
I think at some point we had to get gas in one of these nothing towns.
Hmm.
And so we swapped who was driving at that
Oh
point.
yeah. Apple was driving and then
Yeah,
Yeah.
we swapped off.
So yeah, it was we weren't stopping anywhere between San Antonio and Phoenix
Mhm.
because we didn't book any hotels, we didn't look for any campsites. Our next stop was Phoenix, where I had a friend that we were gonna just crash at their place for a night. Actually, we're gonna stay in Phoenix for 2 nights.
yeah, and our
yeah.
projected time to get there was like 12 or like 1 a.m.
Or yeah, like around like 1 or 2 in the morning or something like that. We were just driving the whole day all the way through. We just didn't make any stops. So Apple drove for a good part of it, and then we swapped when it was like really dark and we were like kind of getting towards Arizona. So we go through all of that nothing drive. It's awful, especially at night when you can't see anything either. And so all you see are just these like looming shadows every now and then. And it's just like nothing.
Big cactus
Um,
every once in a while. A car.
Yeah.
It'd be like 3 cars every hour. It wasn't a whole lot. But that was pretty much it.
Yeah. We get into Arizona and the route takes us through the national forest, and that was kind of neat. It was also like really cloudy. Okay, so I guess it was really cloudy the whole time, right? Like I'm not just imagining.
No, we were
No,
following.
it followed us pretty much the whole way. I remember there were
Like-
parts of Texas where like we get there, and it's like, oh look, blue sky, and then immediately the clouds would come in.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, me too.
That's so crazy.
But yeah, it's been like cloudy or foggy this whole time, and then we get into the national forest, and it's just foggy as hell. When we go through the national forest, we're like kind of going down like a mountain
Yeah.
in this like dark road, and then it just starts raining
And the
in
national-
Arizona.
Yeah.
Right. That is weird.
We get into Arizona, and it starts to rain. It's like
Poor. It was getting pretty bad.
it was bad.
Did it hail?
I think
Oh,
so. Like,
maybe,
I
yeah,
don't know.
for a second.
Maybe.
It
It was
torrential
December.
downpour.
I think we were
remember
thinking about
someone
it.
saying. I think we heard like something in the area about hail. I remember one of us looking that up on our phones.
It was like a mountain cliff, like to your right.
Yeah.
And it's a big fucking mountain. Which basically you could see like the rocks like could easily come off and just go straight onto the road.
Yeah.
And
There's
then
just a
on like
mountain to our side.
yeah, and then our left side was like a valley where you could like go fucking fall down.
But like it was super foggy. But then like as we went down the mountain, we went underneath like the clouds, like the fog clouds, and you could see like this like cloud line.
Oh, I
To,
forgot
like-
about that.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I thought it
Um,
was really cool. Like, yeah, I remember.
But it
the
was just
sky
pouring
being
rain.
cloudy.
Yeah, it was like so bad. And I'm driving at this point. I don't know how you guys are feeling at this point. I don't know if you guys are just like most of you guys are sleeping or
No,
something.
I was up because I was scared.
Yeah, the same.
I think I was
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Okay.
Like, I want to see what's going on.
In front of us is a big truck, like a flatbed truck.
Well, even
like
before
a dump
this,
truck.
even before
Like a big
this part, there were like cars all over the side of the road already, and like we were already
Yeah.
seeing like chunks of rock near the edges, and like so like we passed a good few cars with like their blinkers on, just side of the road, just waiting.
Yeah.
They got hit or something. We're like, oh god. Shit's
Yeah, I was just like, oh my god,
bad
that'd be a
omens.
nightmare.
yeah. It's like, man, hope that ain't us.
So I'm driving, I'm behind this truck, and to be honest, I was probably following too close.
Yeah,
Probably.
it was
But-
he was blocking some of the wind and rain.
Yeah,
First. So he was being close to him. You could see a little better almost, and he's going real slow, so he's a nice, comfortable target. But
yeah. But like as I'm driving, I see this rock come up from like beneath the truck. The truck doesn't care; it's high enough. I drive a fucking Corolla, so it's like low to the ground. And then I just remember like the motion of it was like my fucking car just ate it like a hungry hippo. Like it just and it made like this awful grinding noise. And I was like, oh god,
Yeah.
what the fuck? And so I'm like, we have to check what's going on. So like we drive out of the national
It's
forest.
still pouring
And
rain. We
still
can't just
pouring
pull
rain.
over.
Yeah, we can't just pull over and check. So I pull off to the next exit into this singular gas station, the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like a racetrack, so it's nice. It's a nicer gas
Yeah.
station. Pull into a gas pump. We all get out of the car. We go to the front of the car, and it's like, dude, there's like just barely a scratch on like the bottom of the front bumper.
I remember
like,
looking
oh
at
my
it and be
God.
like, yeah, dude, this is good.
Yeah, it's like this is nothing.
And then yeah, and then I go to the back, and we all go to the back, and there's fucking trail of oil just trailing behind us.
Huge.
It was massive. Like it was just
It was-
every like
Someone took a quart of
the
oil,
whole
just
can.
poured it on the ground. It was all over. All
yeah,
coming out.
and my oil pan just like hole in it. The rock.
Yeah, like a sharp edge of it just fucking. It was like a tiny
was a-
piece too. Like the hole itself, like it was like the size like the tip of a pen, pretty much. Like you can stick like the tip of a pen into it. I did do that later, but it was a very small fucking hole, and that's
Yeah.
what did it. It was just all leaking out. All then yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing we could do about it.
So we're like trying to figure it out, and then we're like, okay, let's just get a tow. Mark has AAA, thank God. And so he calls AAA, And so they send out a tow truck, right?
Yeah. They were gonna. They were gonna.
How did
go-
the conversation go? Like, was it pretty simple?
I told them. Yeah, I told them where. God, I just remembered what. I tell them where we are, what happened, what services I need. I give them my info, and then I think they said, okay, we'll update you when we get you in contact with because they use like third party companies to actually do the towing most of the time.
Yeah. Didn't they like call us? Like they were good first, and
Yeah,
then
no,
like
it
didn't
said
they
it'd
call
be
us
there
back?
like 30 minutes, and he calls back like 40
yeah,
minutes later.
Yeah, I guess that happened for So I guess the first time they said it would be like an hour. Or maybe like it'd be like around 40 minutes, but like 20 minutes after that, they call me and they say the tow truck we assigned you to was in an accident and will not be available. And then I think they came back late, like even later with another update of 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
we were just like
our tow truck got in an accident.
They said the tow truck that went to go help the tow truck got into an accident. They said the only one they had left was for like emergency services getting off the road
Oh
only.
my god.
So we were just fucked.
Yeah, so we're just like thinking like, what do we do? Do we just sleep in the car while it's pouring rain and cold? And like,
well,
it was about this time that the power goes out at the gas station.
We hear like a thunder strike or something off in the distance. The power goes out at the gas station, so then it turns completely pitch black.
So the plan was Apple came up with this idea, which was like ingenious.
Yeah, so the idea was to use what we had at hand. So I had a tire plug kit, which I couldn't use in San Antonio because it hit the sidewall, but I still had it in my bag, just had it on me just in case. So I'm thinking I could use like the bacon strip worm thing that I use for tires. I can shove that into the hole. And then I use just duct tape and paper towels just to keep the oil like from dripping, just to absorb some of it. And that was the plan. Just do some combination of that to plug that bitch up just enough that if we pour
just
oil
shove
in,
as much shit as you can.
Yeah, as much as we can. That when we pour oil, it'll just stop the drip. It'll drip slow enough that we can make it like at least to like a mechanic or a dealership or something.
Yeah.
And we decided, we don't want to sleep in the car, wait till 6 a.m. So we figure that's the plan.
Yeah.
And it was probably at this point.
Stupid plan. We probably should have just waited.
In hindsight, should we have waited? Maybe.
Hindsight,
Who knows?
We had places to be though.
That's true.
We had a plan. We had a schedule.
We had a schedule, and like my friend still had to let us in to their apartment.
Oh yeah. Didn't they work the next day?
Morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we were like, we have to get there, right? I guess we could have like slept at the gas station and like
just
gone back
later.
You waited until later, but whatever. We were
we were tired. We were driving all fucking day. We didn't want to spend any more time in the car, really.
That
long strip of desert.
Point, yeah. That was a long trip.
It was at this point our guardian angel showed up, a kind Native American man in a red pickup truck, gets out. And
well, it's so weird because why did he park there? Like he came into this gas station that the power was out, like completely out, and he just parks in like one of the parking spots.
Did he?
I think I think he was like checking on the gas station.
But like,
what did he give us?
He gave us like a. Yeah, he saw me working under the car. He asked me what's wrong with it. I told him. I don't know if I asked or if he offered, but he gave me a tube of JB Weld.
Putty, right?
Yeah, I was like, putty. Yeah, he's like, here you go. He's like, this will help you out. After I explain what I'm doing, he's like, oh, yeah, perfect. I'll just like use a little bit and give it back to you. And he looks at me. He's like, oh no, don't worry about it. I'm a mechanic. And he just gets back in his truck and drives off. And that was it. Just goes back into the night.
We didn't see him leave. We wanted to we didn't see him leave, did we? Because
I saw the truck go because I remember I thought he was gonna go in the gas station or something, but he just gets back in his truck and just goes. And I pop my head out from under the car and he's going.
My point of view is he came out of nowhere and then left.
Yeah, because we were in the gas station. I think trying to figure out the oil situation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We were trying to get the oil, find the right kind of oil to put in the car.
Yeah, trying to look up the make and model for your car and shit.
So we were in there while you were underneath, just sticking in all the shit. I think came back out to check on you, and that's when we saw the guy, our savior. And then we went back inside, and then when we came back out, he was gone.
No, it
These
really
are real.
it helped. It ended up
It-
like being what we needed.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
we plugged the leak up enough. We loaded it up with oil, and we were like, we gotta get there quick before this thing all leaks out, because it's like, it's still dripping. It's just slow.
It's very slow drip.
And like, I
Right.
remember when we got to a red light, I like hopped out and
Yeah.
checked, like looked under there, I showed my flashlight. It was just drip, drip, like drip. I'm like, all right, it's going faster. We just go. We're going. At least it's
It was
not
also
pouring.
raining.
Yeah, before it was
So,
like
like, it
fucking
had
like
water.
constant pour, like
Yeah.
going down a drain. It looked like. Now I'm like, all right, we can at least make it. I remember like, I was like, what, 3 or 4 quarts of oil we put in.
Yeah,
I'm like, we'll be fine. We can make it. It was like 30 minutes.
it
We
wasn't
were
that
pretty
long.
close. That's
That's
why
why
we
we
want.
did
Yeah,
this
that's why we want to book it.
too.
We're like, man, we don't want to wait here for like 5 hours, and we can just book it. We're so
Yeah.
close.
I forgot we did that red light thing where you got out and checked. The road was empty.
Oh,
like
what
it
was that truck? Remember what it said? There's a truck that said something about like Jesus while we were driving.
Oh yeah, it said "Thank you God" on the back of a trailer,
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, thank you, God.
and we were like, "Oh."
This is a sign from our guardian
This is
angel.
fine. We all converted, but we make it into Phoenix. We get there at like what? It's like 3
it
or
had
4.
been 3 or 4.
It had to have
Yeah,
been
it was pretty
in the middle of the
Because no,
store,
first what we
yeah.
did was we went to the dealership, right?
we parked it there and got a
We got an Uber.
Yeah, we left at the dealership. We got out and put a note around it so they would know and not tow us in the morning.
Yeah,
Because there were signs all over, and like I think we tried to call. I think we left a
Yeah, well,
message
You
on their
didn't say
answering
what.
machine.
Once
Pretty
we
sure.
parked.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't it? Did you guys say once we parked, we checked underneath the?
Oh yeah, as soon
it
as we
started
parked, it was
going.
pouring again.
As soon as you parked, it just all of the oil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it
Dumped
was
out.
pouring again.
we drove it to a dealership and then called an Uber to my friend's place.
Mm-hmm.
And we get there. He came down, let us into the apartment, which was super nice.
Mm-hmm.
It was super cool. There was a dog. There were how many
Yes.
animals were there?
What was his
there was like
dog's
a
name?
There's a dog, a cat.
Willie.
Cat.
Willie. Cat.
Yeah, because he only had one eye.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's.
Oh,
I
I
knew it
love
was
Some
something funny like
one-eyed,
that.
like little. What kind of dog was he?
He's
wasn't he like a pit mix of some sort?
He's like a small.
It's a
It's
small.
like a pet mix with something small. He was tiny.
And there was a cat. It was great.
Yeah.
And we're kind of just figuring out what to do, but we like put out the bed, like they put out an air mattress for us, which was super nice. We go to sleep, but my plan was I was gonna wake up at when the dealership opened, so I could get my car into the dealership to like get looked at and work done, so that we could still be on schedule. Because we still wanted to see like the Grand Canyon, which is like a day thing. I feel like you know.
It was pretty much a day there, spend there and back, pretty much.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll just go. We all go to sleep. I set an alarm for like I think it was like 6 a.m. or something, and
Gosh.
I
remember that.
so I slept like an hour and a half maybe,
Yeah.
and then I called an Uber. I got in the Uber to the dealership, and then I got to my car and I called the dealership. And I was like, okay, so I have my car right out here. So they're like, okay, yeah, we'll take a look at it. So they tow it in. They bring it into like the wherever they work on the cars in the dealership. I don't know what that's called. And then I take an Uber, or no. Then I talk to the person to tell them what to do with my car. They're like, okay, yeah, we'll take a look at it, and then I'll call you when we figure out what it's gonna take to fix it. I'm like, okay, cool.
We were under the impression it was just gonna be a new oil pan too.
Yeah, like it was just like, oh, it's just the
It
hole
was
in
a
the oil
tiny
pan.
hole, yeah.
So yeah, just get a new oil pan, whatever, it's easy. And maybe we'll just be behind a little bit, but we can still go see the Grand Canyon. So I come back, we are all in the apartment, we're just like hanging out for like a good part of the morning. I think that's when I get the call from the dealership. And they're like, hey, we found like, I used to know what exactly he said and like what it meant, but like I don't remember. But like he said there's like an air bubble inside of part of the engine where there shouldn't be air bubbles. And like, that's like real bad. They couldn't just fix the oil pan. They would have to replace the whole engine. And I was like, huh? And they were like, yeah, so what you'd have to do is you'd have to find an engine. They weren't going to look for the engine. I had to find it from like a scrapyard or something and then tell them about it so they could take that engine and replace the engine. And it was going to be so expensive. I'm like, okay, wait, maybe my insurance can like cover it. I was still under my dad's insurance at the time. So I called him and we talked about it. And he was like, yeah, it should be it should be covered depending on like how much the actual repair would cost. Oh, I remember talking to like my insurance company for a while too, like talking about like what
There
it would.
was a lot of calling.
There's a lot of
you.
calling. I was like at the
I felt so
dealership
bad.
for a long time.
Because we couldn't really even do anything. Like we
We're
couldn't
just
really
playing
help you out.
Sabak, the fucking
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars card game.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, but like that's what I wanted. Like I didn't want you guys to worry about it. I just
We're
wanted
just
to like.
bouncing between
deal
like
with
the dealership and the mechanic, and we're just like chilling the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah.
While you're making phone calls, talking to mechanics, and seeing what you
Yeah.
can do. Didn't you have someone come over and help you out while you're at the?
Yes, my grandpa's brother is in Phoenix, so he
Great uncle.
great uncle. Thank you. That's the word for it. One of my parents called him and like we're like, hey, they were like, yeah, my son's in fucking Arizona, surprise, and his car is broken. Do you know any mechanics? And like he knew a local mechanic, so we got the car towed to that mechanic, and the mechanic was like, yeah, I can do this. I can replace the engine, but we still have to find the engine at a scrapyard. My great uncle was like, okay, yeah, we'll work on it. At that point, like that has like completely screwed our time frame, like our timeline. Like it was like there was nothing we could do at that point.
It was like 4 before we started leaving the second mechanic's place.
Yeah, but at that point I was just like I just have to like I was thinking about selling my car. I was like, what do I do? Part of it was like I'm so sentimental that I like we need to finish this trip with this car. This car needs to make it.
That was the
to
objective.
California.
That was the mission.
Yeah. This car needs to make it. So so I was like, I want to replace the engine. And it's like not an old car. It's a 2017, which is like kind of old. Well, it's not like it's relatively new. It's not like a super old car. Like it's not
20 and not during 2021, which is
yeah, and it's a Corolla. Those like never break.
Yeah, those last forever.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, let's just replace the engine. I found out that rental is covered in my insurance. So I was like, okay, we have to decide, like, you know, do we stay and like wait and hope this resolves itself quickly? Like it might not. It might take a while. And at that point, I feel like we were even thinking of like you guys flying back.
Yeah, because I think we already bought our tickets back at that point.
Yeah.
We had bought our tickets before we did the trip.
Yeah, we had bought them a month before.
So we had a specific day, and we were approaching it very fast.
Yeah. So like that was like in our mind too. Like we had to make it, so that you could make the flight. And so I was like, okay, we just take a rental the rest of the way, and then later I can just come back and pick up my car and drive it back. Because Phoenix to LA is not that bad. It's like 5 hours or something, 6 hours, maybe. I'm high. I don't know.
It's doable.
I don't know time. Yeah, it's like super doable in a day because we got a rental, and then we drove that to our next destination. After all of that, we were back on the road.
And we obviously cut out the Grand Canyon. We did not go
Right.
see.
We could not make it, which
Your friend was
sucks.
supposed to come with us too.
Yeah, that would have been super fun, but like it just didn't make it back into our schedule because of all that.
At least we had
Which
that fish and chips place across the street. What was it called?
Pete's.
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 I want Pete's merch. I wish we
Pete's
got it. Shit
It's
was
this
so
fast
good.
food place in. I think it's only an Arizona thing.
Yeah, it's
'cause
in
I think
Phoenix, Arizona.
Anyone I know I come across is from Phoenix. I ask him about Pete's. So far, only one guy has actually known. Well, it's only been like 3 people that asked. One
I
guy's
thought
like,
you were
"Yeah, my
gonna
wife
say-
loves that place."
I thought you were gonna say they all knew about it.
1 out of
No.
3 ain't bad.
But it was like, here's the thing. It was like window serve, right? You just sat at like these like outdoor tables.
Outdoor tables, yeah.
Yeah, it had like so much stuff on their menu. It was a fast food place. It was just like, you know, fried food. It had fish and chips and hush puppies and all that, chicken tenders and
Yeah,
stuff.
hot dogs, chicken tenders.
Hot
And this
dogs.
was literally right across the street from where we
We
were
could
staying.
see it
like,
from
with
yeah,
his
friends.
apartment window.
Yeah, we could see it from the window.
It beckoned us every day. But like we
Yeah,
had
so
to
we
get
went there
this.
and it was so good.
We went there
Pete sauce.
multiple times.
Pete sauce. Pete sauce was like ketchup, but like better. Like it was like
Yeah, ketchup
Something-
too.
something about it. It's just better.
Did you mention the heaters they had?
Oh
Those big
yeah,
ambient heaters on the roof. Like
It
the
does-
big little
yeah.
lamps.
the big heat lamps like on
Yeah,
the
those big long
ceiling,
ones.
which was so like you
They
would
were
think
nice.
that's weird to have in Arizona.
It's cold. It got cold.
But it gets cold there. Like
It's
it
cold in
gets
the
cold.
desert.
So we were like, we felt so good under those heaters.
Apparently they've
Eating.
been in operation for over 70 years too.
We
Wow.
were eating fish in a landlocked state and loving it.
We're having the time of our
Landlocked
lives.
desert state fish.
Dude,
It was
good.
delicious. When I went back, I ate.
You got Pete's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being so jealous
Yeah,
when you
you
sent us
sent
those
us
pictures.
I saw
Yeah.
my Pete's receipt. I kept my receipt.
When you're in Phoenix, go eat at Pete's. We probably hyped it up so much. It's
Yeah.
probably
We're not sponsored by Pete's, but
no.
we can be.
Hey, Pete.
At Pete's. But yeah, anyway, on the road again.
We're on the road again. Next destination.
Vegas, baby.
We went from Phoenix to Vegas.
Stay
Mhm.
the night.
Stay the night in a hotel in Vegas.
And then
Oh,
it
and then-
was...
Did we just get to go to the hotel that we were staying at and sleep?
Yeah, we went
that was
straight to the
literally
hotel.
first night, yeah.
There was a cool part when we were. I believe I was driving, and I can't remember who was in the backseat. I remember Apple. I'm pretty sure was in the backseat, and maybe Troy. But we're coming over this mountain, and it's like it's it's night, it's dark, and there's not much to see. But when you get over this mountain, you're above Vegas, and it's just this flat area with just so many lights. You can see where the lights end, but it's like you could tell it's like a big old circle of lights.
It
and
was
that
so
all-
pretty.
And as soon as I came in the suit, I'm like, oh my god, it was blowing me away. I'm like, wake up! You need to wake up those two back there. Like they are gonna be
No, that
mad
was
if
really
they don't
cool.
see this. So we
Yeah,
woke them up.
sick.
They're like, hey guys, look at this as we're pulling it because we're like we're good distance above the city itself.
Yeah.
You got a great view of the.
It was actually like
night.
breathtaking.
Dude,
Yeah, it was great.
I remember what my nerdy ass thought. This shit looks like Fallout New Vegas. The circle of light from a distance, they nailed it. Looks just like it. It's great.
Yeah, it was so cool. So we went straight into Vegas. Went to the hotel. Slept the night.
Got the breakfast again.
Got the breakfast again. It was always a good day when we got the
Those were good
breakfast.
breakfast.
And
Ate a lot.
yeah, and a big point on our itinerary was we were doing in Vegas, which is called Omega Mart,
Mega Mart.
which is in this place called Meow Wolf, which is like this big like the best way I describe it is like interactive art exhibit.
Art exhibit, yeah.
Right? Yeah. It was still daytime. So we just went to Meow Wolf, to Omega Mart, and like the first thing we do when we get to Omega Mart, we park, and then we just immediately start smoking a joint.
The parking
Yeah, and I think I ate
in
an
the parking
edible.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
Troy
it's
ate
an edible, yeah.
I was like- and so we were all just totally zooted going into this place, which the building already on the outside is just this big black, like
Yeah, big
unlabeled.
square.
Yeah, like it looks like a secret facility.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And then you walk in, and it's just like colorful lights and like
flashing, yeah.
flashing lights and bumping music. And like when you guys walked in, I'm so curious on what you guys' first impressions were when you walked into the building.
Okay, you guys were hyping me up on this for a while. I didn't look up anything about it on purpose. I'm just like, okay, Omega Bar, it's gonna be weird. That's all I knew. I remember like walking in, I'm like, okay, this is cool because it just looks like a 50s grocery store, but just like plop in the middle of this like super like retro, like not retro, like futuristic looking like facility with like disco lights all over the place. And just bam, grocery store. Like okay, and just Omega Mart in huge letters. Like oh, this is cool. And you walk in, you see all the products are all like, it looks fine from a distance, and you look up close, and they're all like really warped and like just really weird and strange.
Yeah,
and it's just like oh.
there's some like it looks like there's like a graphical bug in real life.
Yeah, some of them looked really fucky. It was just like like repeated things,
Yeah.
like little slivers of orange juice repeated over
Yeah.
and over again. It was really crazy.
I thought it was so cool just because I think like up until that point I was probably working at a grocery store.
Mm.
So for me being like seeing the grocery store like again, well first it made me think about work. Wasn't really too excited about. But just seeing like the whole like retro style like
Mhm.
stuff was so cool. And I had already seen some stuff like prior about it, so I was really excited because I kind of knew what
Cool.
we were getting into.
You could spend like an hour just walking through the shelves and looking at, and half of it you could buy, Most of it you could
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah, you
that
could
was really
buy.
cool.
And they were just
spent so
like
much money.
generic. There were generic products on the inside, but the labeling on the outside was wacky and
I got a 24-hour energy.
no,
Yeah.
it's 72-hour energy.
No, 72. You're right.
Yeah.
Once a year vitamins.
I got those, yeah. And there was also this like game that you could play while you were inside. It was like a mystery and like a scavenger hunt at the same time.
Yeah, it's like something's weird's going on at the grocery store, and you have to be the one to figure it out. And
Yeah.
the way to start it is like one of the. There's a few ways to start. There's a few entrances, which is really cool. But like the one we found was like a shelf that was like just open a little, and you walk in and it's like opens up in this huge giant cavern. And there's just
Yeah.
like weird lights on top. There's like a little laptop in the corner, and you can go over there and read through it for like more information about what's going on. Just like big screens. And you walk even further back around, and it's an even bigger cavern.
It
It's
was
just
like really trippy, like
yeah, and yeah, it's just like
lights.
crazy, and there's like nice music going on, like really ethereal, like weird shit. And
Yeah.
Would you
It
trip
was just-
on like?
it was unforgettable. It was so cool.
Would you guys
Would
trip
we
on
trip?
psychedelics at all?
Oh,
that'd
if
be
we were to
weird.
go
That's
back
a
for sure.
lot.
That would be
Be a lot.
nuts.
It was so
oh,
cool.
man.
It feels like you're on drugs just walking through,
Yeah,
which I
like,
think is the
just for us.
intention.
Just for us, just like walking in, and it felt like you stepped into another like dimension.
Yeah. The entrance was the beer cooler, and you walked in and it was like icy walls with bottles sticking out, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You went into the freezer and it just kept
Went
going.
into
It
the
was crazy.
freezer.
I was like the whole time I was there, I was completely zonked. Like I don't know how it was for you guys, but
I was.
I didn't start to
too.
understand the plot until near the end when I was sobering up a little bit. But at first, I had no fucking clue what was going on. I was just wandering around looking at the pretty lights and stuff.
amazing. Like I would go
Yeah.
back again for sure.
They had like a strobe room, like a strobe light room.
Oh yeah, they had so much
yeah.
cool shit like that that fuck with you.
Yeah, like it was just a strobe light in a room, but like they had it lit.
It was like
And,
on
like,
a
dark
delay.
enough. Yeah. So
Yeah, and it went with the music in the background. It was like boom. It would like, make like
Oh,
the
yeah.
flashes. She was crazy.
so we finished up at Omega Mart. By that point, it was kind of like getting dark because it's winter.
From
So-
the pictures, it looks like we got In and Out.
Oh yeah.
Solid fucking
Oh.
choice. I love
Yes.
In and Out.
Was it the first time for any of you guys?
Me.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
it
my
was the
first
first
time
time
having In
for.
and Out.
I think it was the second time for me.
It was love at first sight.
It's good, right?
It's
like
one of my
it's
favorites.
amazing.
For the price, it's the best, I think.
yeah, it's great value.
I love
is the
it.
thing. After that, I think we just walked the strip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after that,
We went to Circus.
circus, the big clown out front.
Yeah.
If we just count on the ones we purely went inside, even if we didn't linger long, I
Mhm.
think we went in like 4 or 5 casinos. 'Cause
Yeah.
we were trying to find a place because we also had to try to find a place for the bear game that I wanted to
Yeah, you
watch.
want to watch the bear
Right.
game?
Because it was I'm pretty sure it was my birthday and it was the
Mhm.
Bear Packer game. That's like the big game. Like I had to see. Like we were planning on this too. Like we'll be in
Mhm.
Vegas that day. We'll just it'll be on a bar in one
Yeah.
of the casinos somewhere. So we had
We were
just
planning
had to
on
find
this.
one. Yeah.
So yeah, we had to look for a casino that was playing the game.
With a bar that was playing a game. Yeah.
Okay.
Which wasn't that hard actually. I think the first 2 I didn't have it. We
Was
didn't
it?
have a bar or something.
Does anyone remember which casino we went to, or we eventually stayed at?
No.
I don't remember
no.
the name. Was it when we
Yeah.
got to the bar with we went to a bar that was playing the Bears game, and they had like
Yeah,
those
and then
virtual
we
like
switched
poker.
during halftime.
Yeah, those virtual poker machines that are like at the tables. And
Yeah.
Troy had cash on him. I asked him for $1. And my first winnings in Vegas, I turned that into $3, baby, through blackjack, right there at the table while we were getting drinks.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were big spenders.
so-
Yeah,
we-
big money.
It was great. You won for the
Yeah.
first. Yeah, for your
Woohoo.
first time doing it. We drank at the bar for a bit, and then Mark was gonna stay to watch the game, and so the rest of us we were just gonna go gamble.
Was this before or after we smoked a joint behind a parking garage?
I want to say we smoked that during halftime.
I think it was during
forgot.
halftime.
I forgot we did that.
Yeah, we were like questioning the legality of it at the time too.
Yeah, we thought it was
Because you
illegal.
can't do it in public, so I didn't want to just be walking down the strip. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. Like,
No,
I just wanted
you're right
someplace
for
a
that.
little quieter. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did. We found this nice. It was like between the parking garage of a
And
hotel
the-
and like another
the
building.
casino,
So it was like
yeah.
all plants and everything. It was real nice.
Yeah.
Really smoking walking area.
Nice little
We-
walk. Yeah, I think that was during halftime. But then we
Yeah.
got you to the big screen at that point, right?
Yeah, we went to a place because it was a place that had sports gambling. So they had a bunch of TVs with a bunch of different sports games going on, and I got to watch the Bears lose.
Yeah, I felt really bad about that. I was like, it's all right, Mark.
Remember you telling me
Remember
they were
going-
like they're pissing you off because there were ladies. It was like a big room where people bet on sports, and there was like ladies in front of you. And anytime something like good happened against the
good happened for
Bears,
the-
they would be like,
Oh.
"Yeah, whoa!"
Yeah, they were
Just
Packer-
like
yeah, they were
salt
Packer
in the
fans.
wound. It was
There was
like
one
4
other
or
Bears
5
fan.
like drunk white women.
Yeah,
And
they
it was
loved
just
their-
like anything happens, just wow, and you were just like, "Get me out of here, dude! I fucking
they
I
love
can't
their
take
Packers.
it."
I remember doing gambling.
We
during-
gambled,
Yeah,
yeah.
we gambled. We were idiots. We didn't realize when they came around with drinks that those drinks were actually free.
Yeah,
because
we
they want you to
thought we
That's
would have
gamble.
to
actually
pay.
so bad that we didn't know that.
We
How did
thought-
we not know
We
that?
thought they were
Yeah.
offering it to like for us to buy it, and we're like,
Yeah.
no, we don't want to spend like $20 on a cocktail. We're good. We could have had a free $20 cocktail, but
So we ended
Yeah.
up spending money on alcohol in Vegas.
oh yeah, we were in. I forgot about that. Yeah, we bought a few rounds at the bar too.
We bought
Yes.
alcohol. Who
Isn't that so
buys that?
stupid?
Who buys at the bar?
Well,
Are they
they
There was no one there.
just
they
for
ended
us?
well, they also the people who were coming out like while we were gambling to like offer us free drinks were like they came back and they were like, "Can we see your IDs?" Because they were like
Yeah.
assuming that we were like
got
underage. Why
IDs.
we were why would you reject free drinks?
Yeah.
So they thought we were like
We're
underage
so
people.
dumb. Oh my
That
god.
was so sad.
But
But we didn't find out until after the trip.
Then,
Did anyone win?
No, I remember it was we did virtual blackjack mostly in slots. I think
We
got-
did roulette. Too.
Someone did in roulette. Someone got
I
like
played
a
roulette.
jackpot in slots, not like a big one, but like what was it
Really?
me?
No, it was you. Yeah, you
it
got
was
like
me. Yeah, I got like
$24.
I got like $24 off of like putting $5 in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was on a roll. If I stopped while I was ahead, I think I was like $50 up. But then I just kept going on I think it was virtual blackjack, and I ended up $30 down from when I started.
Yeah, it's really
Damn.
bad.
So that's how it be. That's how Vegas is.
I remember 2 times happening that night though. We were doing roulette, and I went up and to the table, and 2 times I had bet one. The first time I bet on 00 and 0, like the 2 greens, and I remember getting it both times.
Oh my
And
god.
I think it was like you put like $1 in, and then the winnings was $17.
Yeah, you and
Yeah.
Alex were on a roll with roulette.
Well, I think the first time I was like I got it, and then Alex was doing it, and I was like, dude, put it on 00 and 0, and then he won.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
crazy. I was
Yeah.
like so
He like
surprised.
never lands on those.
Yeah. But I don't think we won at the end of the night.
No, I think we were all.
No, I think we were
basically-
all down. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, we didn't bet that much because we just wanted to play. We weren't trying to win.
But
Um,
after that was Death Valley time.
We drove out.
We got
at-
Denny's too.
Oh,
Denny's on
right.
the
We went
strip.
to Denny's on the strip, which
On the strip, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we got dinner there, right? It was like
Mhm.
at this point, like what, 8 o'clock probably?
Yeah, it was a pretty
Something
busy
like that.
Denny's too.
Yeah. So we stopped at Walmart on the way out after Denny's. We bought we bought like the small shit, like the
Yeah.
hamburgers and stuff. We had always planned to camp. We brought like sleeping bags and a tent. We found a spot which was like a parking lot.
It was called Desert Campsite on Google Maps,
Yeah, it had like 0 views.
but it was what it
I think
was.
it had 1.
Yeah, no, it had like a 1 or 2 people saying it was a nice spot, but what it was is it was gonna be a campsite, and the guy like laid out all the little areas for the RVs, like all the rows and the big area and like the recreational zone, and then it just like nothing ever happened with it, so he demolished it all and left all the concrete out in the desert. So basically, it's just like off the main road. It's just a bunch of concrete slabs going up a hill, and that's Desert Campsite. It's just free use. Anyone can pull in and use it. There are 0 facilities. It's just a place to camp. It's open. There's a few other
Yeah.
strangers there, but it's kind of safe that way. But
It had
that was
like
it.
had a place that you could make a little fire pit.
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah, we lucked out with that. There was a fire pit too, because it wasn't my original plan. Because I'm stupid. Was to just drive out into the fucking desert off road somewhere, just behind like
Yeah.
a hill, and just like, all right, there we go, let's rough it out, make a little hole, make fire. That's the plan. I think we decided to like look around, and yeah, the desert campsite looked like a good solution since you don't have to pay.
Yeah.
So we did
We were like
that.
between 3 sites.
Yeah, it was between a few.
So we get to desert campsite in a rental car. Reminder. We're in a rental car. We pull into Death Valley, it's dark at this point as we're driving in. I don't think we can see anything. I think
Which
we just
which means we have to set up the tent
in
in
dark.
like darkness.
Yeah, with the headlights from the car.
With the headlights beaming at us.
Yeah. So we pull into this desert campsite. It's a parking lot, and there's like 1 or 2 RVs there or something.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
like
I
2
believe
other
so.
people.
But we
And
pull
it was
in at,
like
like-
huge and spread out, so like we didn't even
Yeah.
see them.
They're on
And we
the
thought we
other
were
side.
further away than we were. It was dark. We couldn't tell. We thought they were
That's
way
true.
further out.
That's yeah.
So we were like starting to make the fire with
Yeah.
the firewood. Then we went ahead with our original plan of doing shrooms in
Yeah.
Death Valley.
Yep. That was the
It
plan
was
from the
Apple
get-go.
and Alex.
Yeah, so
2
basically
people
Troy and
volunteered.
Mark were gonna be responsible.
Yeah, we were the shamans
Yeah.
in charge of this trip.
And we were gonna trip in Death Valley.
Mhm.
Man, this makes sense so dumb. Like
No.
this trip. That was a while ago. We're way older and
Wiser.
wiser. Yeah.
We're like traumatized.
Yeah. But it was, we're gonna have a good time in Death Valley. So we all gathered around the fire, which is really cool. And we just Troy led us through this ritual.
He almost
Yeah.
made me eat a rock.
Well, yeah. Somehow when I was setting up, I was distributing the right amount of shrooms that they were gonna take. Which I think how many grams was it that you guys were gonna do?
Oh man, I don't remember.
It was
2?
probably 1.5
1.5?
or 2, 1.5 or 2. I guess when I was doing it on the ground in the camp or in the tent. I was just by myself and I just had the lamp next to me and I was just putting down yeah, no, these are equal mushroom sizes, so I'll split them up. And I guess during that process, I grabbed a rock and I was like, "Is this a mushroom?" It was dark. I had a really small lamp. It was not a lot of good lighting, so I guess I put it in Apple's handful,
Yeah.
or whatever. I brought it to them. And I told them to eat it, and he was like, I remember just hearing a, and Apple being like, "What the fuck?" and spitting it out and going, "That's a rock," and I was like, "No, it's not." And you're like, "No, dude, that's a rock." He just hands it to me. I was like, "Holy fuck!" I almost killed Apple.
I could have died, man.
Yeah.
Choked on it.
So we're all standing around the fire, and at this point we're pretty tired, right? We're sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're pretty exhausted from the day because we woke up early to go to Omega Mart, and then we just stayed out the whole day.
Yeah, we walked around
Yeah.
a shit ton. We were pretty tired.
Yeah, so we finally got to Death Valley, and we were just around the fire and okay, the mushrooms will hit in 45 minutes, an hour.
Yeah.
Let's just nap. Just take a power nap. So we all go back into the tent and we all get in our sleeping bags and then just take a nap for 45 minutes. I'm surprised I fell asleep.
I don't think I did.
Passed
Did you?
out.
No,
I
didn't.
passed out.
I
Really?
didn't sleep at all.
I
Too
did.
cold.
I was out. But then I remember getting woken up by something. I don't know if you guys woke me up or I just woke up naturally. But I remember waking up and then looking up at the roof of the tent and just seeing faces.
Oh my god.
In the tent. In the fabric of the tent, there were it was scrunched up into face, the sorting hat from Harry Potter.
Yeah,
It looked like that, but different faces.
that's cool.
But it wasn't scary to me. It was I was kind
were
of
just laughing.
I was.
Yeah, you were-
I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
I remember going over and asking Alex, I'm like, "Hey man, you see anything?" And he was like, "I see faces." And I was like, and I was like, "What?" He was like, "I see faces in the tent." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
That sounds like I'm having a bad trip, but it was not a bad trip.
I didn't think anything
That's
of it until you started saying that the faces started looking angry, and then that one was moving towards me and
God.
crawling on me.
Did I say that? I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
you were
sure
like-
you were like it was
you were
like
like
going
fucking-
towards
You know,
me.
I
It's like,
think
it's
I
on,
was.
it's on Mark's
Oh,
leg.
you know what? While all this was going down, I'm pretty sure I was by the fire.
Oh yeah, you left early.
Because I couldn't sleep much, because I just went over to the fire because I was fucking cold. It says, here's the thing, I had to kind of push for the Death Valley trip, right? But when we started laying down after we ate the shrooms, I remember like fucking shattering, my fucking teeth, my knees like clanking against each other and just smacking the cement floor we had.
We didn't have enough blankets either.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, we did not
fucking
bring enough.
It was like 30, like something degrees out there. It was fucking
Yeah.
freezing.
It was so cold.
And I remember thinking I fucked up. Like, we should just get in the car, turn the heater on, and just chill there. They can call me a dumbass. We'll just sit there. And I'm just like, I remember thinking, like, dude, I'll never hear the end of it. I have to be, I can't be the one to pull out. I can't be that guy. I have to just stay strong, make it through the night, be good. And so I went to the fire to just try to get warm so I wouldn't fucking lose it.
Yeah, and you like took your shoes off, right? And you were
Yeah,
just putting your feet.
Get them
in the fire.
grippers by the fire.
Yeah.
It was. We had
And then-
the space blanket too out to help warm us up.
Yeah,
'cause
the
we were fucking
emergency
freezing.
blanket.
Yeah, we would give it.
Yeah.
I think Mark ended up sleeping with that.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I don't
You
know
had
if
it at one point.
Anyone ended up
I don't know
sleeping. I did have it by the fire because you were telling me how it radiates, but I don't think we ended up using it in the tent. This is
Yeah.
too much noise.
Yeah, it's pretty
Um,
annoying.
Eventually, I got up. Troy was trying to get me up for a while. I remember. I
Yeah.
was just like laying down, laughing at the faces. And then he finally like motivated me enough to get up. So I got up out of the tent, came out of the tent, and Apple's just huddled by the fire. I'm like, hey. And then I look up, and it's like the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, no exaggeration. The stars are just naturally beautiful in Death Valley. They're so bright
No.
and vibrant.
Yeah.
And and then I saw faces in the stars.
No.
Dude, that's crazy.
Jesus. Oh my
But it was
God.
like it just felt so cool. I don't know. I'm weird. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I should have had a bad trip, but I just didn't. Like it was the universe was trying to make me have a bad trip, but I was just laughing at the faces.
Yeah.
But I just remember looking up and just like gawking at the sky.
We were both doing that because by that point it was like Troy and Mark were trying to sleep in the tent, so it was just Alex and I out there by the fire. And
Can I put that out? These two,
yeah, our trip sitters.
our trip sitters, stayed in the tent and went to sleep.
Cold
Well,
as
the
hell.
two of us.
It was
How do
cold
you
as
think
fuck.
we were else?
It's cold as hell.
And also, we're like leaving you two out there just what if you guys started wandering off?
Yeah, funny you say that. Alex actually did. I was just chilling there, looking at the stars, thinking about the universe and shit, and then I see Alex like 30 feet away from the fire, just walking towards like there's one of the other campers. He had a tent on, like looking for something with a light, and he started walking towards it like a moth. I'm like, Alex, where you going? I had to run over after him. Like, Alex, don't go towards the light. So he's like, he just said like sorry, like he didn't even give a reason. You're just like, oh, whoops, whoopsie. And
I just like stumbled back towards the
yeah, he
fire.
just came back towards the fire. I'm like, got you there. Gave you the blanket, just sitting there by what was left of it, because we were stupid and burned up all the firewood a lot faster than we thought we would.
Yeah.
So by the end of the night, there was just like a few like barely even coals and embers. Like my hands were like, I was basically touching them by the end of the night. Like I was like, yeah, my hands were right over them. It was so cold.
I remember that. I remember like being so like unbelievably cold. Like thinking I was by the fire and like my feet were warm and like everything else was just freezing. And I'm like, oh my God. And I thought to myself, I would rather be freezing everywhere than just warm on my feet. So that's why I was like standing off to the side
Oh my god.
for so long. But yeah, we did that.
I named it
And then
Calcifer
the fire, yeah, I did name the fire Calcifer
Hell's Moving Castle.
from Hell's Moving Castle, yeah. Because I saw a face in the fire.
Jeez.
That's why.
I kept squatting. I kept thinking of old Russian ladies. Like, it was like freezing in the winter and they're like putting their hands over fire. I'm like, I was going like channeling that energy. Suka Blia, kneel down in front of the fire. The blood heating up my hand will flow in the rest of my body was my thinking. But
Did you guys see any other crazy shit like
was
Apple?
it?
Like when you were tripping?
No, the coolest shit was I looked up at the sky, and like Alex said, it was like beautiful, like night sky, like you wouldn't believe, like you wouldn't see it anywhere else. Just no light pollution at all. You can see everything. You can see the Milky Way, even like just galaxies. And we got lucky because it's a meteor shower that night. And when they came through, it would like flash green across the sky, just like like, and they'd come through a lot. It was like every few minutes there'd be one, like once or twice an hour would be a big one. And
So
what
cool.
was crazy is because of the fucking mushrooms, I could see the rotation of the Earth going on in the stars. Because like you could see the stars, and they'd have like a little trail behind them, and it's like you can see
Oh.
the whole like sky just like moving. And
Oh
like
my
it
God.
was like the Earth moving underneath it.
Yeah.
You can see the trail behind it just a little bit. It was fucking crazy. And I just
Yeah.
looking up at that, like looking at the fire we have in front of us, it just all felt very, very primal. It's like getting down to earth with my needs and stuff. It was
With the white SUV, like 20 feet away.
which I ended up spending the morning in with Mark. I'm like, oh, god damn, so
Fucking
fucking
freezing.
cold,
I
yeah.
remember because eventually you and I went to bed. We went back into the tent. These two never came out ever. The whole night. I'm not mad at you guys anymore.
I don't think I slept.
Maybe not. I remember going back in.
Yeah, you went back in the tent. I remember we ended up making cup noodle. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
had my little kettle thing. We boiled some water. I brought some cup noodle from Walmart. Heat that up. Walked up the nearby hill. I think Alex was still out by this
I
point.
was out. I was still in the tent. You guys went
Yeah, I
up.
think we heated you up some for when you got you in the car. But yeah, we were just wandering
Yeah.
around, looking around the area. Really cool. Fucking, it looks like you're on Mars, but there's like a road going through. It was crazy. You
super
see a
nice.
car every once in a while. We'd wave at them. A few of them honked, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they saw us up there. But yeah, they don't call it Death Valley for nothing. It's just a whole lot of nothing. It's just.
But it looks cool.
You know, I
it
didn't
looks
see
really good.
anything move. But yeah,
Yeah.
it looks cool. It looks like you're on Mars. I love it.
Yeah.
Nothing,
It's really
nothing like it. I want to go back.
I remember like being asleep. I remember waking up a little bit and hearing you guys leave to do whatever. I don't know.
Cup
I guess
noodle
to
time.
climb, yeah, or to heat up the cup noodles. And I just like passed out. I was so tired. I was like hungover from tripping. And so I remember getting out of the car. I finally like got the energy to get up out of the car, and you just handed me your kettle with the noodles inside. And I just like wordlessly like
Remember that?
I was
You were just like fried, but just
I was
noodle.
a zombie, dude. And I was
I
just
think-
like, this is the best thing I've ever
I
tasted.
must have gotten like a higher dose because I was just like I was still tripping into the morning. You feel like a weird like after fuzz when you take psychedelics usually, at least for me.
Right,
Like
yeah.
it's kind of like Alex said, kind of like a hangover, but it doesn't make me tired. It makes me like not want to sleep. Yeah, I ended up finally passing out in the car. Oh, that was after. No, yeah, we passed out after we went to the fucking dispensary. Right around the corner, we passed in that night when we were pulling into desert
Yeah.
campsite. What was the name of it?
God.
It was just like Death Valley Dispensary or something. But all
Yeah.
it was is we passed it. It's a bunch of like growing like greenhouses in a row and like a storage unit out front. And you go to the front, and that's where they sell all the shit they grow in the greenhouses right behind, grown right there in Death Valley. And it was like
Yeah.
a Native American lady running it. I assume they owned the place, and they were just they sold merch. I want to get merch. I was jealous. I wanted Death
Oh,
Valley weed
man.
merch, but we got some pre rolls and stuff there.
Yeah, we had to restock.
Yeah, restock. We were running low at that point, and we were in California now, so it was time for the heavy artillery. So first thing we did, we stopped by like a grave site. It was like a small like remnants of a ghost town or something, like tiny
cemetery or
place, like not
something.
even a stoplight. And the
can't remember
cemetery
how
had
old the
graves
graves were.
going. It was going back a while, over 100 years at least. And
Yeah.
you know, wow, neat death and stuff. Spent the
Yeah.
night in Death Valley. Symbolism. We're thinking we're gonna die. That's what we're saying because how the trip was going with the fucking dark spooky clouds.
Yeah, we were like, this is it.
and shit getting
We
worse
were
and
like, somebody's gonna
worse.
get eaten by a bear.
It's like first it was the boot, then that tire gets hit by rebar. First it was a rock hitting the car, and next a rock's gonna hit us in the head. I didn't know what to expect. Something was gonna happen.
It's just ramping up.
So we're going to California. I think that's when I finally passed out. It was the Death
Yeah, you were
Valley.
out.
Valley weed just got me. And,
Yeah, you were.
yeah. So if you guys want to pick it up from here, because that was
Yeah, you were. Do you remember anything like?
You told me you stopped at a food truck at some point. I don't remember that. I remember
Okay.
you woke me up when
Oh,
we went to the observatory area. That's when I started remembering
Got
things
it.
again. So
Okay,
you
so-
fill in the gap
we went
from Death Valley to the LA Observatory, please.
So we went to Griffith first, and we went to the top, and did we drag you out of the car, or were you just in the car?
No, I was in the car. Just let me sleep
You
in there.
didn't come out, yeah. Yeah, so you didn't come out of the car. You were just sleeping there. You were just guarding the car, the rental car. And then we went out to see the view, and then we came back, and you were still out. Then we were hungry, so we were gonna get food. So we stopped at a Mitsuwa. It was like a Japanese grocery store with like food inside. But in front of this Mitsuwa, there's also food trucks. Troy and I ended up eating stuff inside, and then Mark went to eat at one of the food trucks.
I got Takuma's Burgers. He's a Japanese, I think he's first generation Japanese immigrant, came over and started a food truck. He had a newspaper article written about him in his truck.
It's so
great.
cool.
You still have the sticker, right?
Yeah, I
Isn't
still have
it
some
on your
stickers.
bike?
Yeah, I put it on my bike and I have his shirt.
Yeah, I thought you bought some
family
merch.
crest. Yeah, he says if I come back in this shirt, I get like a discount. So if I ever go to LA again, I have to bring it.
Yeah, come on, we gotta get to Takuma's burger. Was it
It was
good?
pretty good. It was pretty
Yeah.
good. I think I ate the whole thing.
I think Troy and I got ramen or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was. I mean, after Death Valley, like it
It
was so good. It was warm, and it was still cold outside, and also was still cloudy as hell in LA.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures. Cloudy as fuck. And so
Yeah.
cold. We were all in
The
jackets.
clouds followed us.
Even in
Yeah,
Death Valley, it was never completely blue. There was still like overcast.
We went around in LA for a bit. We went to see Hollywood Boulevard. Had to, of course.
The
Mhm.
pier. We saw the pier.
Oh yeah, we
went to
saw
Santa
Santa
Monica.
Monica. We went to that burger shop there, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
There is
Like
a
one right on the pier.
parlor kind of place.
Yeah, it was like a
That
little
kinda-
small parlor. Yeah, that was good.
and then we went to a bar.
Yeah.
What is
We
that?
went to a bar.
Oh,
Was that the
I think-
speakeasy?
I'd like
was a
to. I'd like
speakeasy.
to mention.
Oh yeah, that was so cool.
I'd like to mention our GTA experience in Santa Monica. That the highway pulling away. It's identical to
It
what
is.
Yeah, it's a
Los
game,
Santos. It felt surreal. It was so
It's
weird
crazy.
going through it. That was wild, but yeah, I just want to
Yeah.
mention that. But anyway, this speakeasy was fucking. It was
Yeah.
it was dope. Thanks for taking us there.
Yeah, I love that place. It was called Sunset and Vinyl. It's on Sunset Boulevard, and it's called Vinyl because. So first of all, the way you get into this place, you have to go into a pizza place, and then go around into the back where there's a staircase that goes up, and that goes into the bar, and that's the bar.
Unmarked staircase.
It is unmarked. There is no sign, and so
There's a sign on the landing, but that's up the stairs.
Yeah, once you go up the stairs.
You have to go
Yeah.
up the stairs, and there's a little landing with the sign that you go up.
you
more
have to
stairs.
know. You have to know about it, and it's a pretty small place, which is good. So
Yeah, small.
yeah, but you come into this like really like kind of dark, like classy kind of place. It's a cocktail bar. We sit down, and the thing about this bar is they have a collection of vinyl records, and you can pick one out and then give it to the bartender, and they'll play it for you.
Yeah, they had like a queue on the bar. You can just like stick it in queue, and
Yeah.
as soon as it was up, they put the next one on. It was really cool. They had them all over. You can just sit around, look through all the different vinyls, find one you like. They had like modern stuff too. But yeah, then we walked the
Then
strip,
The Hollywood Boulevard
Hollywood
strip,
Boulevard strip.
and then we weren't staying in LA. We
San
went
Diego.
towards San Diego. Yeah,
Yeah, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings in LA. I'm pretty sure.
that is what we ate.
Yeah, we picked up.
in LA. So we went down to a house that was like just moved out of, and so my family was still trying to find like tenants, so it was empty, and so we just kind of crashed there for a night.
Well, I was thinking that it was gonna be furnished,
Yeah.
or like
Oh yeah,
it
no,
was gonna be like a place that had some, I don't know, some furniture.
it
or
was
something.
empty.
Yeah,
It was empty.
ready for rent.
Yeah,
But
Some construction work too, like some of the walls were.
it was so
Oh, yeah,
funny
it
because
was bad.
Alex didn't mention this beforehand, which I think it's more like he didn't connect the dots. It's just like, oh yeah,
I-
newly furnished.
I thought I mentioned like we'd have to have our sleeping bags for it, but I don't know. I don't remember.
You might have actually, now that I think about it. I just remember being surprised just walking in, expecting to sit on a couch and just completely fucking empty, just walking around like, alright, we'll be staying here, I guess, just all rug on the floor. So that's better than
Yeah,
the
we-
hardwood in the living room.
We all decided to put our shit into this big room upstairs
I
where it
remember
just
we
had
walked in.
carpet.
We were talking like, all right, well, I'll take this room. I'll take this room. And then like after like 10 minutes of walk around, I think we all kind of came like, we really want to all sleep in different rooms. Like there's this
There's
like
nothing- there's no
huge
difference.
master. Yeah, like this is huge master bedroom. We can all
We
have,
might
like,
as well have been
pretty
in different
far
rooms.
apart. Yeah. And I remember I was thinking, I'm like, man, it sounds kind of weird, but like I don't want to be lonely.
It was,
Like,
it was scary.
I'm like, I kind of regret like the whole like splitting up rooms. I was kind of glad you all came around on the like, let's just have one room. Like,
Like,
no
we can't
point.
all have separate corners.
Yeah, we all just took separate corners. We were so far apart.
We stayed there for like a couple days, right?
It was
Yeah, with
two.
two
We
guys.
played Sabaka
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah, and then we
I think
did
it
the
was
B dubs
two
when we
days.
got there.
Yeah.
And then we slept
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah.
Well,
The next day, we
I
just
think we
chilled
just chilled there, yeah. I think we were
Yeah.
just decompressing.
because we made your flights,
Yeah.
and like so like we were chilling. We didn't have to worry about anything anymore. So we we just decompressed for the day.
I think I decided to take a shower or
Mhm.
something. And there was like a working shower upstairs.
Yeah.
And it was super creepy because you had to go down like this hallway and there was like some like construction like walls being done. Like I remember there was just tarp over
Yeah.
this area that you could like look in. Can't remember what the fuck was in there, but I got in the shower upstairs and then when I was done, which I don't take that long of showers, probably only like 5 or 10 minutes of a shower. And I come downstairs, I'm like, kind of quiet down there. I was like, guys, I'm like looking around and I'm like, fuck did everybody go?
Did you call us?
I'm pretty sure he called me.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Didn't we
I
put him
called
on the
you.
line with the, what was it?
This was the
This
first
was
night. So
arrival.
we got there, and
Because
Troy
we-
was like, "I'm gonna take a shower," and then he
We
came
need
down.
we need
were gone.
aluminum foil to heat up the Buffalo Wild Wings in the oven. That's what it
Right.
was.
So we
needed
went
some
out to the
cutlery and
grocery
stuff.
store.
Yeah, so
And we got drinks too. Yeah.
Right.
So did you guys just plan
So we
that?
were just like, oh, let's just go get him while he's in the shower.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
all
like
three
I
of
don't want to
us-
be left alone because he's gonna be in the shower. I don't know how long you're gonna take, so I'm like, alright, let's just go.
I
That's
think all three of
true.
us just kind of
That-
had like
yeah,
overlooked
then-
telling you.
yeah, exactly. I would have at least
We were
liked
gonna
to
go
know.
knock or bother you. We were like, let's just
we
go.
were also we thought it was gonna be really fast.
And it wasn't.
Yeah, we ran into
Very-
what's his face,
Paul,
Paul. Paul.
craziest motherfucker who just also literally assaulted Alex.
Yeah. Oh my
Spoiler
god.
for the end of
I-
the story, but
We
like,
went. Oh my god. We just left. We went to the grocery store. Troy calls Mark at the grocery store.
I'm pretty sure we're driving. I think we were still driving.
Oh really?
We weren't even at
Yeah,
the
I think we
grocery
were on
store.
this one.
I swear it was in the car.
I think it was in the
I was like,
car.
where are
Yeah.
you guys? And that's when I realized, like, oh, and I'm like, did you guys not tell Troy that we?
So,
Like, I didn't tell him.
I didn't see him.
Yeah, and I was pissed, dude. 'cause
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
I'm in
Troy,
this
we
creepy ass house.
Running out.
It's like pitch black, and like I'm hearing shit from other rooms. Like it sounds like somebody's walking, or like somebody shuts the door. And I'm like I'm gonna die.
And then, so we go to the grocery store. We get what we need, and I think you guys went ahead because I was paying at the register. You guys like left the store.
No, we couldn't get in, dude. We couldn't.
Oh, that's what it was.
Because me and Apple are raw dog and light. We don't have COVID vaccination.
Oh, right.
It's crazy, and you have to have proof of insurance, proof of vaccination to get into
Yeah.
a fucking grocery store.
Yeah.
So we had to wait outside, and that's when we
Yeah,
bump into Paul.
Paul.
This dude, he's like 45, 50.
He was older than
Comes
that. He was
up
like
to us.
60 almost. He said,
Yeah, he's middle aged.
How did he start that off?
I don't know. He walks up. I swear he just says, I think he asked us if we're high. And I think we were probably like, yeah, or like he is or something. I can't remember who was high.
I think he asked us for some
And
pot.
He was like,
He tried buying
yeah,
pot off
he's,
of us.
but he's like, do you guys want, I have a pound of mushrooms. I'm like, "Oh." Isn't that what he said? Or
Is that
some
what he
shit
said?
like
He had
that?
a pound of weed, yeah, something like
A
that.
pound of weed. I'm like, I swear it was a pound of shrooms. And he
I think
offered
it
us
was
some,
mushrooms.
and you were considering it, and I'm like, I don't say anything, but I'm like, Apple, shut the fuck up. Don't entertain this guy. You're like, really? Like, hey, I might be interested. Really? Tell me more about your mushrooms that you have.
What
he's
is
telling
wrong
us-
with you?
He's like, he's
I
can't
was
remember
making
exactly.
conversation. I don't think I ever intended to.
Yeah, we were just amusing the guy. I can't remember every beat, but he gets into how he's like diagnosed and he's like he's gonna die. It's clinical, but he's like a billionaire.
Yeah,
And he
owns
went to fucking
some AI
college.
company.
Who did he go to college with? The guy who like he was like college roommates with some fucking billionaire. I swear is what he said. But I can't remember who it was. Like he was
But
college roommates
then
with
he
like
goes
Mark
off the
Cuban or
deep end
something.
about how COVID is a scam, and you're like, I
Yeah.
worked in the Air Force as a biologist. I know how that thing was made in a lab and this shit. And it's like,
Yeah, Alex finally comes out and he has his blue
oh
surgical
no,
mask
they forgot the
on.
best part. He's in a cast the whole time.
Oh yeah, he has a
And
cast
he
on,
mentioned,
yeah.
like, I asked him how he got that. He's like, oh, this guy, he like got into a shoving match with some guy, and he like fell and broke his arm. And he's like, oh, but you know, I had military training. You know, him, Air Force biologist. He's like, I could have killed the guy, but I had to, you know, restrain myself. So I just let him have this.
Isn't he like a colonel? Is what he said.
I don't. He was all over
He was
the
like,
place.
He was like an officer. He was like a billionaire too.
But Alex comes out. We're like, yeah, here's the
Yeah.
other Alex, and it's like, oh, that's a weird name for like a Oriental or some shit like that. It's like, he calls you an Oriental.
Immediately,
fella or something. Yeah,
immediately,
right off
just
the
like-
bat.
Right off the bat, I come out.
Alex has said
and this-
nothing at this point. He just
I
shows
just
up.
walked out. I walked out. Okay, I walked into the grocery store, like with my stuff, like with my grocery bag in my hand. I still have my mask on.
He has
the mask
no
mandate.
idea what's going on. He
I'm
just
like,
thought
I
we were
see
waiting
these
outside.
two idiots talking to this guy, and I just walk up, and I'm like I'm just like looking at them, like, what's going on? I'm trying to like play it cool, like I'm just like, I don't know, I'll just play along or whatever. And so I don't remember. I have no idea what he said. Like I don't remember.
He
But
said
he was talking about.
it was like something like.
It was like we were talking for a little bit, like just a little bit, and then like he just like he went from like the loop of my mask. He went to grab it, and
Oh
then
yeah,
like,
that's.
I
and
swear
then
he
just
went
like
like
tore it off.
I swear he went like this. Like he put like two.
It was to the
fingers under your
side of
mouth,
it, yeah.
and then like ripped it off your face, and then like
Yeah.
and he was like, and this shit, you don't need that shit. It's like what he said. I'm pretty sure.
So he's like, his kids don't talk to him anymore. Like he just kept going on.
I was like, and he like did that, and I was like, okay, I can't like piss this crazy fucking maniac off.
Fuck
So I'm
you.
just yeah, so I was just like, I'll just laugh at it. It's a joke.
Paul was a
And then-
funny guy.
Yeah, so funny.
He's probably dead by now. I mean, it's
Oh my
like
God.
diagnosed.
Where did his
terminal illness.
billions go?
I don't know.
But yeah, we ended up not getting drugs from Paul, unfortunately.
Yeah,
That
no.
was like a authentic California experience.
You could have gotten kidnapped.
That was like a GTA NPC.
I was gonna say, yeah,
conversation.
that's what it felt like.
He was like a stranger and freak. Fine in the storyline.
But eventually the conversation ends, and we leave,
Yep.
and we go back to Troy.
Yeah, he's still
Miss-
just waiting.
I'm
Yeah,
fighting
miss
for
all
my
of
life.
this. Yeah, tell him when we got there. Like, I miss Paul.
Well, yeah, I remember you guys telling me about that, but I remember like before you guys got there, I was just like in the kitchen, and I was like underneath one of like the tables, just like sitting with my legs up, and I was just like,
Oh
Just,
my
like,
god, I
looking
forgot that.
around.
We're like looking around flashlights for you. Like, what the fuck is Troy? Troy?
but I remember you telling me about that story and being like, "What the fuck are you guys? What? Alex got assaulted."
You miss Paul.
His paw. It was so weird.
Yeah.
We got the B-dubs and we put it on. What did we put it
Tinfoil.
on? We put it on tinfoil in
Put it in
the
the oven.
oven.
Yeah.
And then and then heated it up that way.
It worked out.
It was
It
pretty good.
did. It was
good.
scary getting it out though.
It was hot.
It was like a full team effort. We all had to grab a corner.
Yeah. Because I think at this point we were all high.
Yep.
I think we
Yeah.
got back and immediately like started.
Smoked, yeah.
Was it raining?
Yeah.
Or am I crazy?
It was,
It was
raining.
raining.
It was raining.
Of course it was
I
raining.
think that's why we didn't want to go out and do anything either the next day because it was fucking raining.
It was
You're
ready
right.
to say,
Yeah, we didn't want to go. You know, the only day it wasn't raining was when we left.
yeah. Lightly cloudy that day.
It wasn't cloudy.
I think it might have been blue sky.
I think so. Looking at pictures, yeah.
So we got
It's such a
pranked.
sick joke, dude.
We
Dude,
so
yeah, I'm looking at the pictures at the Alex's mom's place. Just pouring rain, and the very next day, the day we leave in the morning, just perfect blue skies. Like,
So we ate the B-dubs, and then we just went to bed.
Yep.
We went to bed. We woke up. Did we get food?
What
We got an In-N-Out?
Did we get the In-N-Out again? I swear.
Yeah, we got In-N-Out again,
Yeah.
which was also a good decision.
Yep.
We got In-N-Out, came back to the house, and then I think we played. And then
Sabak.
oh, we were playing Sabak.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we were playing a card game, and then it was like every time someone lost, we had these edible brownies that we got from Arizona. They were from Arizona, and we said that whoever lost every round would have to eat a piece of a brownie. And then I think Apple lost like
It was
three
like
or
three- it was
four.
Well, we got
times.
no. We got to whoever won Sabak got to assign. An
Yeah, and people
edible.
kept stacking it on me after I lost
Stacked
3
it on
times.
I forgot about that.
It was like we all got one, and then
And at the time,
Apple got 3.
At the time, my
4.
mindset was, I've never had edibles that fuck me up, so I should just eat as many as I can anyway. Maybe it'll finally fuck me up. And instead, it's like I ate a whole tub of melatonin. It was just like I just like knocked me out.
Yeah,
like
you
within
were out.
hours, I was like unconscious on the fucking carpet floor we were residing on.
The rest of us were like knocked out too eventually.
Yeah,
'Cause
we all had
we
like
all-
a siesta at some point.
Yeah, we just all like passed out like in that room. And
The
then
difference is you guys woke up.
yeah, I woke up because my mom texted me and she was like, "Hey, let's get dinner while your friends are in town. It's like dinner's on me." And then I like look around the rest of the room and everyone else is just dead on the floor. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's still like a little earlier in the day. It's like probably a few hours until dinner. I was like, okay, I'll see if they wake up. I remember setting an alarm and I knock back out. I'm like, I'm still tired. And then I wake up to the alarm. I get up and I look around the room. You guys are the same. Like, you guys are still just like stone cold, like dead silent. And so I like text my mom, like, yeah, I don't think they're getting up. Or no, I was like on the phone with her. I was like, I don't know if they're gonna get up. And I was like, you know what? Here, I'll try to wake them up. So I come up the stairs. I remember like waking most of you guys up.
Yeah,
I don't know
woke
if
up
Apple woke
because
No, I think I
woke up
told you guys to
because-
go without me.
Yeah,
I thought
I
you
think
guys
I woke
did.
up because I heard you call, like on a call.
yeah. Yeah, I was just in the room on the phone.
I told you guys to go without me. I thought you were going to, and then you guys were just like, "No, we just."
I think we were all just that tired.
Yeah.
Like, I think we just kind of knocked out for the rest of the night. Did we?
Yeah, I think that
Did
was
we do
it. That was our last day and second to last day in Cali.
And so you guys' flight was the next day.
Yep, in the morning.
Yeah, I just drove you guys to the airport. We stopped at an In-N-Out
Was it?
on the
no,
way.
it was Mark and
Oh, no.
Troy had a separate flight earlier,
Yeah.
Right.
so we dropped them off, said our goodbyes, and then I'm like, I want 2 things that I can't get in Florida while I'm still in California soil. I want In-N-Out one last time, and I want to stop by the dispensary too. Or was it? No, we already stopped by the dispensary. I think I just smoked a joint in the In-N-Out parking lot.
Yes, you did. We both. I think we were like, because it was like a good amount of time till your flight.
Yeah. We might have
So
stopped back by, I don't remember. But was it, we ended up with another pre-roll. It was like little tiny ones.
Yeah.
And we're just like, we had like, it was like 2 or 3 small ones. I was like, just finish these.
Yeah.
They were just going out of the parking lot. And
And then we had In-N-Out.
yeah, I went to In-N-Out, got my last In-N-Out, and off I went to the
Cool.
airport. That was the trip.
And everyone made it back home safe.
And no one died. No one got
Surprisingly.
hijacked.
Yeah.
No one ended up in prison.
No one ended up in prison.
In the epilogue, 2 months later, I went back to Arizona.
Epilogue.
Because I had work, so I couldn't go back right away. So 2 months later, I went back to Arizona, got my car, and drove it back, and it made the journey.
And you got Pete's.
And I got pizza while I was there. That was amazing.
But
I
the
might just
car-
drive there for pizza.
The car finally made it.
The car made it.
I just like the idea of this road trip being a road trip to get a car to California, and the car didn't make it,
Yeah, it
but
failed.
we did.
Yeah. But eventually it happened, and it was, we all were safe, and that's what matters. And I honestly think this road trip was a formative experience of my life. I think it really
Yeah, me too.
I think it's really affected
I'm definitely
how
gonna look back on it. For
I live my life.
yeah, it's just really funny. I think it's more memorable because of how fucked it was.
Yeah, absolutely. If we went without issue, it would have been like,
Just whatever. Just would have been a Sunday
Yeah,
drive.
Sure.
yeah. Because all this happened, we're always gonna remember this. We
Mhm.
will never forget this. And it felt like pretty bad when we were in it, but
In
like
the moment, yeah.
now we're like laughing at it and like being able to talk about it. And it's like when you put it out like this, like when we talk about it like this, you realize how fucked up everything was.
From
You
the
realize
start.
it. We
From
realized
the
it.
very start.
We realized what while it was going on, and then we just kind of forgot as time went on. Yeah, like
Yeah.
now that we're like laying it all out again, like step by step, it was so fucked. It's
run
so
through it.
much.
It didn't
There's
feel
so
like
many
we got
bad
to a single
omens.
state where there was not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sick from the start. A boot in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
The wheel
Austin
in San Antonio.
Yeah.
The oil just outside of Phoenix.
Freezing in
Uh,
Death Valley.
Freezing in Death Valley,
losing
which,
money
I
in
mean-
Vegas.
No free drinks.
No free drinks in Vegas.
Living in a squatter
Yeah.
home in
We're not
California.
kidding. We missed
Missing
Going out
the
to dinner
Grand
with Alex's
Canyon.
mom.
Miss Green Canyon, Miss Burrito Lady.
Miss Burrito Lady.
Oh man.
Part
Did
two.
anything bad happen in LA?
No.
Not really.
Wow,
I
that
don't
was
think so.
that was the only uneventful part. You would think out of all of the places.
We should have died. We must have
Oh,
taken a wrong
man.
turn somewhere and made it.
That kind of like freaky homeless person encounter.
Oh.
It was kind
What
of
was,
my.
he,
It was,
what was he
it
yelling?
was kind of my fault too. Man, I don't even remember, but I just made the mistake of like making eye contact with a dude who was just yelling super high. He was probably just high off something. It's on Hollywood Boulevard, or whatever, the Walk of Fame.
Oh yeah, and then he started following us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he followed us. Yeah, so he's following us, keeps yelling about. I can't even remember, and we have to stop and like figure out where we're going. And he circles us like once or twice.
I remember that. That was the only time in the trip I was ever freaked out, I think.
I wasn't.
Was
What's
the
what's funny
fucking
was
dude circling us like, man, what was gonna get stabbed?
my reaction was like I didn't feel scared or weirded out, or I mean I was a little weirded out, but I didn't feel scared. And then I realized like I should feel scared, but I'm not scared, and that was funny to me.
Oh
And
no.
like I think I looked at I can't remember where I looked at. I'm like, yo, are we in danger right now? And he's like, he circled us and then walked away. Eventually. I just accidentally he was we're walking up on him and he's yelling and I just look at him and then he looks at me and I don't immediately look away and then I look away. Got his attention,
God.
That's all it
So
takes.
so something bad actually did happen in every single city we went to.
basically.
Yeah.
We
Nice.
almost could have gotten stabbed by that guy.
We're gonna look back on this like in like 20 years and we're like that was the most exciting part of our lives.
Honestly.
Probably.
That was so fun.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm still glad we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have
Glad we
changed
can
a thing
record it, too.
except your car making it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is kind of like the one thing. I think the other stuff is like kind of acceptable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like catastrophic. But we made it through. But yeah, that's how we made it. That's how my car made it here in the long-winded way. It's still here. It's still kicking. Has a new engine in it. It's doing great.
Wait, yeah, we should probably end it. It's been
Yeah, that's.
2 hours and 20
Has it
minutes.
really been 2 hours?
Oh my god, what's
Yeah.
the recording?
Dude, we might have said it.
It's,
We might have
it's
said
probably
it right.
more like 2 hours, but
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
God damn.
Well, it's a big trip. This is gonna be a special. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for listening and or watching this this special of Zoot Talk.
Special.
This 2-hour special.
Thank you
Please.
for coming on, Apple and Mark.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure we'll be seeing you and hearing you again. But yeah, thank you so much for listening and or watching. Go listen and or watch the next episode of Exploring the Zoot Zone or Zoot Talk after this. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Bye.